Black people, I love you, and I love you enough to tell you, you ain't ready to revolt shit. You don't feed yourself, you don't hunt your own animals and slaughter them, you don't prepare your own meat, you don't own your own land, you don't have a seed going in your window. So you think about revolutionaryism, you think about fighting and dying in the street, you ain't shit.
Killer Mike said black people ain't ready to revolt. It's a disparaging marriage and he ready to elope. Maritime coastline, deep V hull boat, crack a nose turned up, machete to your throat. The divine snatched the arm back, she fine, she in Zinga. Moroccan mercenary got a line on Moringa. Ask Chief X to swing it. Go fund me to rock a new car, a building cold like I'm Dr. Umar. Nah, go fund some more guns, banana clips and cannabis, and bury it, the jackal, Anubis. I'm rockin' mercenaries and I'm in tie in an abyss. He ain't rapping due to libations, he just channeling this.
Hands down, you ain't ready to oppose nothing. You are as a part of this system as any white person gentrified.
I'm on light, hovercraft propellers over swamp water. We make the thoughtful think they should've thought harder. Be aware of this, don't blink, there's only one blunt between the careful and careless. It's hard to face it when you need a shrink or a therapist. Mental disorder ordered them to label you a terrorist. I breathe elements and I found the secret. We could all walk on water if it's ground beneath it. I carry my weapon and keep my trees, and still be Hotep and ask to rig Nasheed. 6 in the morning I greet my seed, then do everything I think I need.
I have to say this, because I know our spirit and our emotions get stirred. I'm not against nobody on the panel. I'm with everybody on the panel. I'm not diametrically opposed to anybody. I agree with everything my brother said about revolutionaryism. So let me ask you guys a few questions. We're in the South, we're in the heart of the South right now. Who fishes? Who knows how to fish? Hands down. Who knows how to hunt? Let's hands. Hands down. Hands down. Hands down. All right, hold on.
I'm gonna hurry up.
Black people.
I'm gonna hurry up. What's up? What's up? Still gotta play one more. I'll play this. If the machine could find it. Yeah, and I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh. Alright, it's getting kinda dirty in these YouTube streets. The Amin Ra squad, God thinking you dudes weak. Islam or Judaism, where you learn what you dudes teach. The West African rappers slapping with that voodoo speech. All that sub-Saharan care about a cuckoo feet. I'm like Norma, the agricultural farmer that grew you wheat for the storehouses. We feed the Hebrews and lead the people when we defeat the feeble. They wanna know polite rip me off, but Sonetta paid me my money though. That mean he 100. And I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh. Nubian with the Jews, I rock the pinky. I think Jesus got to save me. A doctor save me, a doctor inky. I cop the copper jewels on blue and red. I'm not the chakra doctor y'all claim woke, but you in bed. You won't pop a chopper, you Grandmaster J. You just talking. Punks turn the other cheek and you will walk away. Y'all gon' have to pardon my Moorish. That's Taharka Bay. I'm on that black African power on my darkest day. And that's my brother Ankh stomping them other punks. We brought them gators to Italy, you loving the Moors. And now I'm teaching from my shrine like brother Jabari. Scope in the savannah cause I'm on another safari. Tasha K showed us Frank record. Young Pharaoh just losing his mind and y'all can't help him. I know one thing, you're a fool if you're still out here donating to Umar school. That shit cool. And I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh. Look, you showing your hidden colors like Tariq Nasheed, a bunch of pseudo information I don't think I need. Probably lying on the text, ask Divine or Zion Lax. Just get that microphone ready. With Metal Netta, I'm Stone Jetty, a Ujahu, a Saw Imhotep. Y'all probably timid still on them Bobby Hemmett teachings. I'm in Gozy with the DNA. Cats corny and it's killing me too. You talk that black shit, but you look Arab like Gorilla Hebrew. You need therapy, they telling me just chillin', be cool. I'm a magi orchard, you a sad guy talking. And I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh. Mic check 1 2. Okay, there we go. Got that nice tune rocking. Got the people coming in the building. I see y'all. Peace to Mr. Rich. I see you in the building. What's up with it?
Hey, peace, Smash was popping, homie.
I probably wouldn't even have played that. I probably wouldn't even have played that interview.
Nah, man. Nah. And you know what's funny, man? You know what I mean? To start it off, it's like, so you remember the emergence of Black studies and why it came out, right? Because them white boys were talking that bullshit. So Diop and them came out with that, you know what I mean? And that was the importance of Black studies. So these dudes talking about evolution, they ain't bringing no new information. They bringing the old, you know what I'm saying, stereotypical, saying scientific racism to the forefront when we bring in new shit like the nubiologists. They didn't even know they had one of those, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying, we keeping that spirit and on the right side of history, bringing that real knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Put us in the center of the education. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
These niggas is busters, yo.
I ain't gonna say all that. I would say that
Nah, man, yo, they busters, man, because, yo, they got experts saying the same shit we've been saying.
Mm-hmm.
And they just can't get it in their minds. Still asking the question, is the ancient Egyptian the modern Egyptian? We already smashed that. It's like, well, goddamn.
I don't think they was getting some of the answers they wanted.
Damn sure was it. The chat GPT been writing their questions, man.
That was hecka funny to me, bro. I was like, okay, like if you're gonna do a debunking video, right, and all these slides we be putting on the screen, why you just don't say, I want you to take a look at this and tell me what you think. You don't even gotta show our voices. Show the slide and be like, they saying this. Why wouldn't nobody do that?
No source for the black land.
Still no source for the black silk. Expert.
She was like, you know what? Let me go back and look, you know what I mean? Because she didn't have one herself. Just some shit she heard, you know what I mean?
Because she gonna look that up, then she gonna start thinking. See, that's what I'm saying. When we make them look at stuff, they start seeing your point of view. Like, hold up, it ain't no source on that? Who made that up? Breasted made that up? Somebody like that gonna be made that up. That's crazy, crazy. Oh, I see Brother Reggie in the building. I wasn't looking. My bad, Brother Reggie. You deserve an award. Brother Reggie deserves an award. Your mic on, Reggie?
Yes, it is.
Man, what's up?
I agree with you. They shouldn't even show that video. They shouldn't even play that for the people. I mean, they should have just kept running. I mean, come on, Smash. They gonna talk about the Western Desert. They don't know about the Western Desert. They don't know what groups and populations were in the Western Desert. They didn't talk about the Bedarian culture, right? The Tajian culture, that Nubians were all over the place, right? I give them credit for having the interview. I don't think that they got what they wanted out of it. Then they said pygmies and twa and didn't use the word ding, right?
Racist.
Like, how do you do that? How do you not? Don't they watch your shows? Don't they
Mm-hmm.
do the meta lecture and tell the people exactly who the people were, right? She was accurate. Listen, she was accurate in a lot of stuff. She agrees with us 90 to 95%, maybe 96, 97%,
But here's the
right?
thing. So the things that they didn't know that they couldn't find in the standard book, she agreed with us 100%. And then the things like what does Kimmy mean to black land, she giving you dictionary definitions that we've already gave you more information on how to refute. So you could have just said, well, suppose someone says, and then put one of our questions out there. Like,
Uh,
suppose someone says they found a ton of people whose name was Kim, and this was a physical attribute, and they even give a source material from Herman Rank. What say you? They don't want
was
to do that.
And
no,
she,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
keep talking. I'm sorry. I'm just responding. So when we give the actual sources, we actually give the actual databases like the PMI, right? We talk about people like Herman Rank, right? So all of a sudden they forget all of that information that we talk about, and they come up with these really bland type questions that are not really informative.
A lot of layman questions. I see MVP in the building.
Yeah,
Was good, was good, was good, was good, was
All is
good.
well. What you think about that interview?
Oh yeah, I was laughing the entire time. What the pseudo killers were doing was they was asking a lot of pointed questions, excuse
Mm-hmm.
me, steered questions.
Mm-hmm.
Say for instance, when first of all, I looked her up. I was looking her up. She is a graduate of the University of Penn State, and she only deals with the Kemet from a time period of the 18th dynasty all the way to the Armana period. That's what she deals with, and she deals with a lot of the diplomatic relations that Kemet had with the Mesopotamian peoples and cuneiform texts. That's what she says she deals with. So what they were doing was asking her a lot of questions that was steered towards what they tried to teach. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, it was just a lot of questions that we've already dealt with before. And what did she say any different than any other European or Asian has come along to try to say? She hasn't presented anything different, or she didn't say anything any different. And it was just weird that I heard King Sosa when they begin to talk about people like Mentu Hotep, he tries to say, oh, that statue meant that was a statue of divinity talking about the black god Asar. But then when you look at the same images of Nubians on the wall, they'll say, oh, those people were dark skinned. So there was a lot of steered questions on there and a lot of tuning going on there tonight. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm disappointed that they just couldn't go find a black Egyptologist to explain some of these things to them and clear up a lot of these instances about the black land of Kemet or anything else. I'm surprised that they're still going to get Asians and whites to try to clear these things up for a community. And two, why didn't they sit up there and ask the most important question of all? Is the field of Egyptology, is there racism involved with the study of Egyptology? And how do you clean that up? Because a lot of the things that the Eurocentrist teaches is still being perpetuated in the field of Egyptology today. And that's what I wanted them to ask, and they never asked that. So shame on the pseudo killers. I call it out.
And that's the importance of black studies, yo, to conquer all of that. And she did say color was important.
Yeah, she said hella shit. She said color was important. Yeah, they seen skin color.
Yeah.
She was saying so much stuff that had me rolling. I was listening. I was watching too on the fast screen. Kick back. Okay.
And the
Yeah,
Western Desert, like Reggie said, the Western Desert, I don't think they know where this shit is at.
yeah, they couldn't mention the Abu Balas Trail, right? They couldn't mention Gift Kabir. They could not mention Nocta Playa, right? Those would be the areas that were formative. again, I didn't expect it to go as well as it did for us. I didn't expect it. It went well. The questions were base enough so that she could interpret, and it didn't matter to me that she was that she was, her nationality or her racial thing did not matter. It really mattered what she was strong with and what she wasn't strong with, but she did a great job for us. She did a great job for us, even with the leading questions. She saw the booby traps actually, and
I agree. Yep.
she saw it. She knew. She was like, I would say to the pseudo killers, take a bow. You're more Eurocentric than the Eurocentrics. Take a bow. Like you was those talking points I would expect from people well, let me just say this. She murdered the Mediterraneans. She murdered the North Africans. She murdered them when they asked them about the modern Egyptians, right? Go
Yep.
back, listen. She murdered them. She said they was mixed with everybody.
Conquered by these people.
She murdered them.
Yo, Reggie, but let me ask you a question, Reggie. Isn't it important when you bring on a Egyptologist that they have peer reviewed work that we can go over and vet? Isn't that important?
Yeah.
Because when I was looking her up, she had no peer reviewed work, no peer reviewed papers or anything. She just
no,
has a lot of video lessons.
well, yeah, well, see, first is the first peer review for that level is she is a PhD.
Yeah, she wrote a dissertation. You have to write your dissertation
Yeah,
to your
And she was
to
a
a group of people.
so,
Yeah. Isn't it important when you bring on a Egyptologist that they have peer reviewed work that we
not necessarily. So you have to understand, and I know that you do for these groups of people, it's very dangerous for their careers, right? You would hope that you got someone, who's been in the field 30 years or so, but when you have someone young, they have their whole life ahead of them. And these things matter when they're getting promotions from universities to the universities. So I listen, she's braver than a lot of other of some of our scholars. I have a friend of mine who's a chairman in Cal State. He's just tell you, hey, listen, brother Reggie, I'm gonna tell you real quick, right? I'm not gonna let these comments and these groups of people interfere in the longer work that I'm trying to do. So they're not gonna put themselves to be attacked so that their chairman or their dean could say, what's this? Right? For the sake of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, not for the sake of us. But question, I heard her speak on they saw themselves they skin color was very important to them.
Mhm.
So my thing is if you know they're Africans and if I know they're Africans, when they said that they were colored, what does colored mean? What does skin color mean? You understand what I'm saying? We certainly know they weren't Arabs that developed that civilization. We know they invaded a lot later and came in a lot later. So what exactly did she mean by skin color was very
Oh,
important of them because there was a lot of stuttering coming out when they asked her about that.
right. But again, you have to understand, like, is this worth it? Should I keep the line, or what area should I cross? I think that on the issue is that they were very
Hey, real
color.
quick, Reggie, is your computer cool to host?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, I'm about to tell me if you see it when I do this right now. Make host. Do you see the thing come on your screen? Hold on. Do you want to make Reggie the host? Yeah. Did you see it?
Not yet.
Well, it's gonna say that you are the host. Reggie is now the host.
Okay, I didn't see it,
All
but
right,
I
well,
guess.
you the host, but I'll be right back. Y'all can continue.
Okay,
Excuse me for the
so
interruption.
man, where is Pan African James?
Oh, he'll be laughing. But hold on, I'll be right back.
There is Pan-African. There's my brother Pan-African James. So, listen, look,
I just
sometimes,
want some of her peer-reviewed work. That's all. That's all
right?
I
Reggie,
really want.
can I speak?
Yeah, yeah, good brother Patah. I'm on. Yeah,
Right. I'm gonna have to push back on you know the fact that we on here, not some of us are on here really going at her because I think she was really good, and she was fair.
he's great.
Think she was honest, and with her information, she like you said, she supported, not that she even knows the work that you guys do or we do or whatever, um that we're on, it showed that we're on point, that we're in the right direction, and from where she's coming from as well, even though she is young, but I mean she's an expert, she's qualified, and the things that she said, even when they said read the glyphs, and she started with the bottom one, and she explained the crocodile portion or tail, and the half loaf meant chem, and then the feminine T, and she knows it said black, and then they were like, well, what about and then she was like, the strokes or plurality, and then the what, and she said, yeah, the man and the woman, and then she said that's the people. And then, I mean, then it was like interesting. And then they started kind of pushing her in
Yeah,
the direction,
exactly.
you know.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
started pushing
And
her to say that it means the black land,
right?
but
She
it
had
yeah,
clearly has the people sitting there, you
right.
already
know.
said
So yeah,
So
people.
she
So
clearly said they called themselves Kemet.
right,
And that's and even though she talked about the adjective and noun, the I6 glyph, right? She
right,
obviously knew that they didn't know the meta
yeah,
nature. So
yeah,
she called it the I6 glyph. So she just kind of described it. So she went late, she went a popular Egyptology on them, and that's okay with me.
yeah.
That that's all right with me
It's
because
beautiful.
I don't want this woman who was fair to be risking her for it to come up to review, right?
Right, a career.
And she says something where there is not a source. That's
Right,
not to her,
yeah,
right? But it was them trying to push her into this black land when she said the Nuit meant country,
right.
right?
That
And
city
yes,
and yeah. Go ahead. Yeah,
no, so I was examining that. I was examining that very closely. Now, the difference between I have a peer review publication, right?
article.
Article, right? Article in a publication,
Yeah,
right?
in a journal.
They would not dare bring that up. They would not say, well, what about Kemet the cattle? Because they could have put Kemet the cattle there, right?
Right.
Right? But
Yep.
but they did not. And that just shows that they were leading, that they was trying to lead the conversation, but it did not work tonight. Oh,
No,
Christopher Wizards is on. Did you see it, Christopher?
no, I didn't. I
Christopher,
was doing,
you, huh?
I was watching two
uh-huh.
different. Oh, I see Chris down there. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, Chris. Hey, what's up, Chris?
What's up, bro? Peace. Yeah, no, I didn't see it. I'm
Oh,
listening to
you gotta
y'all.
go see it, man. It's
Yeah.
up. It's up on. You got this. You actually have to see. It was beautiful. Talking to a traditional Egyptologist that has some
Mhm.
skills. She reads. Watch this. She reads Late Kingdom, right? She
Okay.
reads. She reads Late Kingdom.
5 years.
Demotic, right?
Uh-huh.
She That's in her skill set, right? Because
Demotic.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
right. So she reads that. So listen, like Lake Kingdom is hard just with the Medu Neter, right? So she
Mhm.
reads it in a demotic, right? And that's I'm like, okay, wow. I mean, I wish I had that skill set, right? But they ask her, so what Shesmu is talking about and MVP is talking about is that they asked her about the Kemet glyph. So she said, what does it mean? She says Kemet, right? But she did let us know that the adjective and noun was black, right?
Mhm.
And then they started leading her with, and then she went over the Newitt sign as country, a city, right? And then there was the one with the hair glyph. But then they tried to kind of lead her, and then they led her later on another point about the color of the Egyptians. But she did say that the color, the skin color, was important to the ancient Egyptians. She did say that. Now, what are we? What more could we expect from somebody who's in Penn State University to?
And I think that was a balanced answer because none of us have been saying that it doesn't mean black land. It's just
Or don't mean black land.
no. It's just that we don't say that it means black land to where it's the riparian or it's the black soot or the sand. We say it from the perspective of black land, meaning it's the black people's land.
Okay, well, Christopher may disagree with that, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Christopher's going to disagree with that.
I don't have a problem with that. I still say it's the black land, just like it's the blacks, the black people's land, but it's the place of the blacks. But it's the black land, it's the black people, it's the city, the town, it's the black city or town, and
Well,
it's
see, but you can.
I think honestly though, when we're having a discussion over the word Kemet, I think that does a disservice to the study overall. I think we need to be looking and doing a hard anthropological what's the word I want to use here? A exhaustive study on the people themselves, starting with the pre-dynastic kingdom. 18th
No, you got
dynastic
to do
kingdom.
language. And
Right,
she,
That's what I was getting. Wait, that's Reggie right there. That's what I was getting ready to ask you right there. I'm still a student of the Medunetter. I'm studying the Medunetter. So what I was going to ask, that's what I was trying to segue into is, should I be studying from the E.A. Wallace Budge translation, or should I be studying from the Faulkner translation?
all of
Because
them.
sometimes all of them. So how do I sustain which one is the better translation?
okay, so Christopher could ask, listen, I do Medunetia, right? I'm a mid-grade, right? Christopher, he does grammar. So an important part of the language is in fact the grammar. The grammar is the dissection and the connections of the words. So when you start putting things in like the Black people's land, right? What we would do is we would find other grammatical constructions to see possessive, right? We don't see that with Kemet, right? We don't see that with a we don't see that. If I want to say Kemet means the Black land, I have a problem with that because then I know there's a description that says Ta and Kemet, right? And there's a description that says Ta and Tameri, right? The land of the beloved land, right? If Tameri means the.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but still though, the question needs to be answered. I heard somebody say both of them. Well, how am I supposed to ascertain which one has the best translation? Because we start getting into these semantics on these panels, not necessarily with you, Reggie,
I can.
but when we start getting into these semantics, I'm like, because when they say, show me Egyptians calling somebody else black.
Let Christopher, like I'm saying, I'm mid-grade, right? Smash is
Okay.
Christopher is better, right? Both Chris and Smash are better than me, right? More accurate in contexts. Why don't you ask Christopher? Christopher, what do you say?
Yeah, so if you're just starting out, well, first of all, if you got budgets of material, keep it, right? In terms of just sheer volume of text and just material, it's a good thing to have. So get all the dictionaries, get everything. But if you're just starting out, I would stay away from Budge. Because something that, I don't know who it was, but some brother had just mentioned, Budge was kind of a solo artist. He got a lot of things right, but he got a lot of things wrong. Right. Because the field has evolved, or was evolving during his time. So So if you look at Bud's dictionary, it's some clear errors in it, right? But again, it wasn't because he just didn't know per se. He didn't have a lot of people around him who was peer reviewing his material too, right?
But even
So
not to cut your wisdom real quick, but
yeah,
even to see those errors is a good thing for a true scholar.
no, they're good for a person who's in it or a scholar, not for a neophyte. For a neophyte, it can cause confusion, and it can cause you to pick up things or pick up habits that will lead you the wrong way.
I agree
So
with that.
I would say in the beginning, stay away from Budge. Get the material, get the dictionaries, but then once you get more seasoned in the language and in the grammar and syntax, then pick up Budge again. Because Budge in his dictionary, he does have a lot of a sheer volume of just words, man. That's good, but it's not good for a new person.
Oh, there's a user in a
Okay.
Zoom user. I can't put you in unless well, first I have to actually see your face.
Gardner is excellent too.
I don't know who Zoom user is.
Yeah, now see, even Gardner, right? Gardner's grammar is the Bible, it's the go-to, but even Gardner's grammar now is out of date. There are updates in the language since the time of Gardner. So again, get Gardner. Gardner is really good for problem sets. Gardner has excellent problem sets. Certain things just don't change, like the participle and a rotor form, but there have been updates made to the Sejameth form, right? So, you need to get more recent literature, in your library too. So again, don't just use Gardner's grammar for a beginner. I would also say is a no.
Okay.
The island.
I don't think. I think. Okay. So, Middle
Alan is good.
Middle Egyptian. So that you have the Faulkner Concise Dictionary, right? If you want a dictionary, you should get that. And I think that they have a version now that is searchable, right? You should get that. Huh?
I was just saying, you got to have those dictionaries, the TLAs.
Right. And then you have Vigus Dictionary, which is good. Vigus Dictionary is good, but it doesn't have any references to text so that you can look it up. So you could take his word for it. So, but for a quick lookup, I would use Vigus, but I would use what Chris says, and then I would look for the TLA. The problem with the TLA is that the TLA does not have all the text, right? So and you got to remember when that was written, right? And then a lot of stuff is converted from German. So then there's a German to English, right? So if you are learning, the first thing you should do is try to take a class. You should take a class by somebody respected, and then pass the introductory class of at least knowing how to transliterate the uniliterals, the biliterals, the triliterals. I don't call them that. I don't do it like that anymore. But knows a sign list, right? So you should know the sign list, and then you'll find out that the sign list that Gardner has is not even complete, right? Because what Christopher's saying, the field has been updated, right? Then you realize very quickly that a lot of stuff was transliterated and transliterated, when I mean double transliterated from hieratic into what do you call the Medu Neter, right? And then the Medu Neter is transliterated, right?
So it's not it's here. Thank you, Reggie. I'm appreciating everything you say. I'm trying to write this down here. Because I am at work. So I have a book called Voices from Ancient Egypt. This is by Mr. Parkinson here. It's dealing with the Middle Kingdom writings. And the reason why I started actually off with that book, I'm just asking Chris and Reggie this one. They're probably the elders on the panel. I'm asking you two this question because wouldn't we want to deal with the writings as they transition to the New Kingdom period? Isn't that where a lot of the contention is? as it transitioned from the old kingdom to the new kingdom?
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not. Yeah, I mean, you should definitely look at the writings from
Sorry if
the
I
right.
sound like a nerd. Sorry if I sound like a nerd. I
No,
am a
we are
nerd.
all nerds when we do this
Through all
work.
the, yeah,
Yeah,
through all the
can I?
periods, but
I'll go
it's
ahead, brother. I'm sorry. Go
not
ahead.
all. You should look at all of them through all the periods, but the transitions, they did use, when we get the loan words and different I guess countries begin to infest the country. Um, you will see some transitions, not to the fact that they're like wrong, like going against each other. It's just change. It was just like changes in evolution, and it's good to see those changes and to know who's doing them and why. Oh, but somebody also, just real quick, Zoo has said the Vigus uh dictionary also. So yeah, just wanted
Yeah,
to put that.
I
All
said
right, thanks,
the
guys. Thank you.
You
Thank
did
you.
say Vigus? Okay, we'll go ahead,
so,
Reggie, or Chris.
no, I would say again to the Zoom, to the person who's a Zoom user, the problem is that this is Smash Show. I
Oh,
can't let
no, I think Zoom user is that's James.
that's
That's James.
James.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's James. That's
Oh,
James here.
okay. So if James, if
You
you're listening, if
know
you're
everybody.
listening, put in the chat, that who you are, so that I'll know and I'll let you in. I
Yeah,
hope it's James.
I'm
But
pretty sure that's James.
well, I remember I have to be
I
sure.
got you. I got you. We don't want no
Right?
pop.
Usually,
Don't want no pop.
usually on this show, I would let somebody in that I know because I'm moderating for somebody else's channel, right?
Facts. Facts.
So anybody wanting to learn the metal nature, right? What you would do is you would get a grammar book. So you would get online, you can get Gardner's grammar book, or you can get Hodge's grammar book, right? And understanding it that way, I agree it's difficult, but
Red.
ultimately you will need those two books, right? Because it takes you through the see pata run, see a set, jump. You will see constructions like that. And but the way I would always start is learning the sign list, right? Having a system so that you can transliterate. And if you can't transliterate, then you're going to be, it's transliterating, and then it's something called parsing. So if you don't know how to parse, right? Transliterate and parse, you're going to be lost because you don't know where words start and stop, or stop and start. And Old Kingdom doesn't have many determinatives, right? So that makes it even harder. Okay, so Zoom user, I'm gonna take a chance with if you said this is James, 1 second.
And while you do
Red.
that, the brother who's talking earlier, the standard is
Right?
yeah the standard. No, got a little echo here going on.
Well, let me say this though, quick. What Reggie was saying, he was saying definitely get the two books. But you know how I found it to be the easiest? I purchased the we call those cards. They have the
Flashcards.
Yeah,
yeah.
many
I
flashcards.
cards, and that made it easy to learn what the sounds of each, whether it's a monolith, what is it,
Monolitals,
Unilateral,
unilateral,
biliterals,
bilateral,
or tri, or
biliterals.
biliteral or triliteral. So I once I memorized those, then I also learned how to read. Whether you have to recognize whether which you read into the animal glyphs. That's the easy way, the face of the animal glyphs or people glyphs. So I learned how to read it from either left or right, whether it's going left or right, and then you have to read whether it's going top to bottom, or bottom to
Yeah,
top.
that's in
Generally,
the first pages of
Not bottom to top.
this book,
right,
right?
right,
So
right.
those are the first pages. So what you're doing, okay, so one thing is with the flashcard, I would do the flashcards continuously as I'm reading the grammar, right? I would do that. I would walk around with the flashcards in my back pocket when I go to a restaurant or sitting on a bus. I would go through the flashcards, right? But then I would try to read some things with grammar because ultimately, what's going to get you is when you walk into a museum. Christopher will tell you, uh, it goes bananas. Like, oh, I'm good. I've been reading these books.
I got
I'm
that.
good. Huh?
No, I was just acknowledging that Smash want us to get back on the interview talk, but go ahead and continue and finish.
Okay, so on the uh yeah. So on the interview, so Christopher didn't see it, so I wish you were seeing it. So one of the let's talk about the things that went uh what she said.
My
Okay,
fault.
so they asked her questions, on the foundations of ancient Egyptian, right? And they asked her specifically about the Western Desert. Well, about the Western Desert. And she said that the populations came from the Western Desert as the climate dried up, right? And that was very, very helpful in the origins. So then, but she kept the origins of ancient Egyptians, as we call them, from the Western Desert and from the South, right? Now, she also talked about that about Amen in the South in Jebel Baca, right? She talked about the Southern influence, but they didn't let her elaborate. They didn't ask her follow-up questions on the Nubians. So it seemed like they kept there was a division. There was a division up because in the pre-dynastic time periods, all these people were migrating from place to place, right, as hunter-gatherers, and so it wasn't separate, right? So the way I saw it being left was that the Nubians and the Egyptians were different populations, and they didn't do a good job on trying to say how close they were, how different they were. I'll stop right there. Someone else can chime in.
Hey guys, thanks a lot. I got to get back to work. Thank you, Reggie, Chris, Jonathan, and we got Shezmu, Fatah, Amon. Thank you guys. I got to get back to work, but I'm gonna leave and just listen out. Thanks, guys. Peace.
So,
One of the
did anybody else see it? Neil, did you see it?
I didn't. That's why I'm listening.
Oh, you should go back
I,
and see it.
Reggie.
No. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
One of the things that stood out to me, just to veggie back, piggyback, camelback on what you said about
Silverback.
silver gorilla back when what you said about when she was talking about the Nubians is when she talked about when the Egyptians became kind of imperialists, and she basically only kind of talked about when they Egyptians took ruler over the Nubian area. But when they became imperialists, you got to remember we were reaching the Egyptians were reaching out all the way to the Hittite area as a vassal state, Israel as a vassal state, and maybe some nearer, closer areas as tax collecting and ownership of those areas. So it wasn't just the Nubians, and I thought that was a little lacking, just to kind of like make it seem like it was only the Nubians that they controlled.
Well, she didn't, interesting, she didn't bring up in that period Punt, which they didn't have an imperial relationship with. Punt, they had a trading relationship with, right?
Yeah.
So she didn't bring that up because they didn't move her to it. One of the important things that she actually said was their relationship with sacred animals, right? Did
Yeah.
you hear that?
Yep. Yeah. She did an excellent job. She did an excellent job.
She
Well,
says
let me ask. I wanted to ask you, Brother Reggie, if she says, because I didn't get to see it, but from what you said, she dealt with Punt, and according to
didn't.
Kemet, Punt,
No,
She
she
didn't
did
deal,
not.
she did
She
not
did.
deal with Pun.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
so she did not deal with Punt. She didn't deal with all of the different southern neighbors. But what she did say that they incorporated the Magi, and the Magi was a very important part of the the construction of the new kingdom with being the police. And she said even some of the Egyptians were police, but the police force was the Magi. And
Yeah.
so that was really good for those people who say that there were not sub-Saharan Africans in so-called sub-Saharan Africans, even though the Magi, they could come from the Eastern Desert, right?
Mhm.
And they could come from some of the Nahishi groups, right? She made that point, but they didn't have a follow-up question on the sub-Saharan population. You would think that they would have brought in the Schuneman report, talked about the Mediterranean and the Asian populations. Well, I don't know why they still call them Asian, Eurasia. They should call it Eurasia, but they call it Asian populations. Uh, they didn't bring up the point that they have been bringing up about North Africans, the so-called North Africans. So they did not do that. Um, and so Shesmu is one of the people who actually watched it. So I have to piggyback with him. What else did you hear that was interesting where it seemed like they were asking these leading questions and they didn't get nowhere. Where can let's talk about the leading questions that
Well,
they
well,
asked.
well, just to continue on I guess a continued path. When they brought up the dwarf, they were trying to say, the small people, the little people, and she said, "Oh, the dwarf." And that's
But she
another
didn't
thing.
know she was trying. She knew that they didn't know.
I'm gonna do you like you always do. Let me talk. Why? No, go ahead, Reggie.
No, I'm complimenting you in a
I,
in a way that
but
she
that's what people doing
realized.
to you. But you get so upset sometimes. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, you go ahead, talk.
I got you. No, I got you.
This is
I've been
beautiful.
around you a long time, so I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I don't.
See, now
They,
I forgot
they
what you
they
want to say.
they what happened was it got bad because now we're talking about pygmies and twas.
Mm,
We're talking out of the context of the Egyptian world, right?
right.
So so it was pygmy, twa, small people, and I was like, whose side are y'all on? They
Right.
not Africans?
But that goes along with punt though. So that
Oh,
lets you know that
How so? How so?
well, to me, punt is an area where the pygmy and twa were located. I
Were
think
they? I
I
didn't.
well, that could be, maybe that's just a belief for me, but
Yeah.
I get a connection when I study. I just feel like I get a connection that in the land of Punt there were small people, but to
Well,
just
let
no,
me ask you a quick question
hold
on
that,
that.
put a pin on that thought for a second. Let me,
Okay.
so 'cause I'm old, I forget. So, and also, one good thing about it was she was repeating or reciting the same story that Smash has talked about the story of the I can't remember if that was Huika, but
Markoof.
Harkuf was going down to get the booty or to get the payment from the Nubians, and he ran across a Twa, and then the Nasut he said, don't even worry about the money, the taxes. Just bring that little person, take care of them, and bring them here so we could so we could be entertained and be blessed. And she kind of alluded to that same story, and I thought that was kind of
Pepe
cool.
the second story.
Yeah,
is-
Pepe.
So,
Yeah.
so,
And she talked about the age of Pepe too.
so, brother Reggie, would you say the Twa would be more central to Congo as opposed to the Somalians be where Put would be today?
No, I would say that if you read the story of Harkuf, which you should read the story of Kuf, they were they seem to be taking a route that they found themselves somewhere in the Western Desert. And so these groups of people were within that area, right?
The Twa, you mean?
The Ding, let's call them the Ding, the Ding,
Okay.
the Ding.
But when you saying the Ding, am I thinking, should I think the Twa people though?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because the reason I said that is Somalia was what people have been years for years trying to call
Okay.
Punt, which would be east of that.
Right.
They didn't get that far. So that's
Okay.
why I'm being kind of stringent. You should go and read the story of Hakuf.
Okay.
And then she also talked about the story of Sinewy, which
Uh.
Smash often talks about, right? That Sinewy was not comfortable. He became homesick of living outside in the Levant area, in the Canaanite
Yep.
area, Syria, and that he wanted to come home, and he was welcomed home by the king. I don't know. Christopher is the king he was welcomed home. Was it Sinwar set? Or because Amenemhat had died, right? And that's why yeah.
I read that story. That's a good story.
And the only reason I guess I get that. So okay, so we have what is it? Nibit. And that's below Thebes, below on, below it's down that way. So
You talking about Neckham? What are you talking?
yes.
Nebkin?
All those down in the Nahisi land.
Right.
Oh,
Well,
In the,
see, if I'm talking about the show, these things weren't covered,
no,
right?
not at all. Yeah.
What the issue was, who was the Ding? Where did the Ding come from, right? And she illustrated the story of Harkuf.
Right.
The story of Harkuf for Pepi II, so that they could capture when Pepi II was young. So she brought in a little ancient Egyptian history into this, right?
Dialogue. Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
And
So okay. So
so
before I jumped in, I was trying to finish that point though. But I was saying I kind of get that feeling because to me, that area is not so far away from Somalia. It's only probably it's a few. I don't. When I look on the map, I think it's, and then I think about Narmer, and him probably coming from that same area, around in that same area. And the Twa were with him, and they were the priests, the craft priests. You can see him with the leopard skin across his body. So that's where I get that sense that it was somewhere in that vicinity. Okay.
But
well,
Shamsu, when you say that, because when I'm looking at it in the historical context, the Twa originally come out of the Congo.
I don't want to do that. See,
That's
the thing is, I want to specifically talk about what
the
happened.
the video.
That's what Smash
Okay.
said, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
either I'm going to do a good job or a bad job about this, right?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna
And
fall back because I ain't see it. I'm
Me,
listening.
me
I'm
too.
not looking at the chat. So let me just go and try to look at the chat because the chat may have some actual questions on this, right? That will help me out if we're talking about, because I want you to go and see what happened when they talked to someone who they said was an expert. I want you to actually see what actually happened there. So let me do something real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna, so Shesmo saw it. So another issue happened about the Kemet glyph that was important. What did you think about that? Since you know some meta nature, what do you think about that? What
I,
do you,
I thought it was pretty clear, but it was only three. They only went over three glyphs, three Kemet names. Top of, or I would say one toponym, and well, actually there was two toponyms in one color. So I mean, I thought that was it was good, but it was still to me it was still limited. You could have went a lot further or deeper.
Real quick, thank you, Reggie. I just was laying in the bed listening, but I ain't trying to limit the build to that. If y'all done talking about that, y'all can build on whatever. I just wanted people, since it was in the title, to get the full gist of the failure that just happened on that show. But I appreciate y'all. I'm still listening, and it's a very good show. Thanks for tapping the
Hey,
link.
I want my check after we finish. But
Which one? The
since,
one from Chief X that he needs
since we work,
to.
since we working for you.
Oh man, if that's how you call it, yeah, I definitely will shoot you that check. Yeah, it's all good.
I love the
I
show.
know it's all love. But no, I'm watching and listening. It's a good show. Shit.
All right.
okay, so she did mention, thank you, Tony, my brother Tony Macaroni, fly his name on YouTube, right? Uh, they asked her what references she should use, that she would recommend, and she said, the Oxford Handbook of Ancient Egyptian, right? That's the same book that we talked about, where Stuart Tyson Smith said that through modern standards, the ancient Egyptians would be black. They didn't bring that up.
Smash
Wow.
always bring up the Oxford Handbook. Always.
The little fat book with Roz or Horace eye on the front. Blue,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I read that.
That's right. So Nandi Makita and Amarina's on Dodd says, Reggie, they knew not to invite you, and I can't believe they even released the video. They should have kept that in the vault. They killed themselves with that pre-recorded stream. And I agree. I agree, and I guess they're doing their show to to talk about their talking points, and unfortunately, many of us did not see that. But the Oxford Handbook is in fact the book that we actually use as a reference all the time to make the points. So it's interesting. They ran into a brick wall when they wouldn't admit that these are the resources, in fact, that we use, right?
Right.
And then she said something very important to the audience. She said it's the language, the writing, that helps her understand who these people were.
Other than the other Egyptologists or the old researchers, because then you can see the mistakes and the corrections that need to be made from, because they had opinions and some of their opinions were biased. So yeah, she says that's the most important thing that she sees in her research, is being able to read the primaries for herself.
Correct. She said, and she said, so she said that many of the Egyptologists that people read, right, are outdated, right? She made that point, and it just went over her head. So let me read what some of the chat says, because they're important.
Hey
Boys,
Zoo, 221, why don't you hit the link and come on in? You got some good information you
yeah,
dropping.
yeah, that would be helpful. So UKA says boys don't even have the mental prowess nor the expertise to even have a discussion with the Egyptologist. They cannot have the discussion. Should have been Smash, Rock, or Brother Reg to speak with her. If they really wanted to try to kill us, they would have let us on so we can interact, right? So they had a kind of a bland talking point. They never got to any of the issues that they scream about, right? Because she killed them. She said skin was important to them. right? And so after that, they didn't say. Montu says, quick question, though, where did ancient Egyptians get the plants for their medicine? We know that the outsourcing butamin would increase and some oils, but how did the specific plants for medicine? Um, through trade and engaging and being entangled with other groups of people. So we know that they had access for minerals and stuff with the Nubians, and with that would have come other plants and things that would not have was not necessarily grown. We know that they went to Punt, right, for for trading goods, right? So it would have been through trade, through interactions. Let's just see what else. Okay,
And
so
Reggie,
yes.
and if I can add to for the brother who asked that question, we got to remember now the Nile Delta was basically a marshland, so it was lush. I mean, they grew all kinds of plants along the Nile and its tributaries, right? So it wasn't like it was the barren desert. You know, the Delta region is vast with a lot of tributaries, very very vast.
No,
I think sometimes when we look at the map, sometimes we don't realize how large that fan portion of the Nile Delta is.
yes,
Well,
and
well maybe you all. I think sometimes people look at the map, they don't realize that fan region, covers thousands of miles.
right. But so what it is, the encyclopedia of ancient Egypt in its beginnings come from all of these areas as they encounter. So they come from the Western Desert and the cave paintings that gives the iconography and the basic constructions that would be the meta nature. Not to Nakata's vase paintings are not too different than the cave paintings in but very more specific, right? So they're in with the plant material, yes, but some plants, right? There are also desert plants that they got that would be from other areas that would not grow in the marsh
Right.
area, right?
Brother Reggie, what about
Mhm.
the plants that, because I remember you saying some of the pottery came from, I believe, Mali in West Africa. You think they brought along plants as well?
Yeah, I think
West African plant, yams and
yeah, you have watermelon seeds that show up in the Nile Valley that were more in West Africa, right? But
oh,
they had a stable of what they actually ate as far as a kind of a cereal. And and uh, and so then those things were planted in the soil. A
oh,
killer
so Egyptians had cereal plant based, sort of like Ethiopian teff or injera.
sorghum. They
Okay.
what do you call it, Chris? Is Chris still in? What do you
Yeah,
call it?
sorghum. They had corn too.
Did they
Not the
have
corn,
teff, Chris?
not the corn we know, but they had a version of
Yeah.
corn, barley.
Barley, yes.
Mhm.
Did they have teff as well though? Because you know what teff? That's one of the oldest in Ethiopia. They say it's the smallest grain, and they make the injera bread, the ripping bread that you wrap the food to eat with. It's called
I
teff.
yeah, I think something very similar. I think I
Yeah,
Okay.
think
yeah. I don't know if it was called teff, but yeah, I'm sure
Okay.
they had several varieties of grains and stuff like that
Okay.
that they grew. Yeah,
yeah, it was unleavened. It was kind I don't think it was a yeast-based bread.
yeah.
It
No
was kind of
yeast.
like
Hmm.
unleavened type of bread, but it would make well, first it would make sense because the Blue Nile, right? You got to see where Eritrea is.
Mm.
Eritrea is connected to that region, right?
The
So
Horn
that
of
would be
Africa. Yeah.
part of the Sudanic populations, and so
Uh,
there was a lot of interactions, and so
yeah.
Nubia was a very important trading partner for them to deal with the other areas in Africa, and so these kind of exotic type of foods and but they kind of had a standard kind of a standard diet of barley, their version of corn, which wasn't right, their version of corn, which wasn't the corn that we have, and sorghum, right? And
Yes.
and then they had now aloe. Aloe is something that came from the South. It's a
Oh,
right. Aloe was very important for skin and skin diseases, and that seemed to have come from the South and made its way into the Green Sahara.
Brother
Um,
Reggie, that's aloe vera.
yeah, the aloe plant.
Okay.
But
Okay.
there's different species of
Uh,
aloe, right?
oh, okay.
So that was a very, very important part of their medicinal practices. Okay.
Mm.
So what else did they say? I'm waiting for some other people to let me see if someone else popped in because now I'm looking at the Zoom. If anybody else popped in, like Montu and stuff like that, we can get him in and talk about some of the things, some of the traps that they laid, because they didn't, all of the stuff that, that happens with, that we've had with Chief X and those groups. Okay, Zoo is coming in. Oh, my brother Zoo. Zoo was there. So we can get to it. Um, uh, let's see. So Zoo is there. So what are some of the other traps that they had? So she definitely talked about their relationship with animals. They did not dare bring up the Apis bull and the
Uh,
and the cattle. They didn't dare bring that up, right? Um, let's just see what else she said. Oh man. But she was heavy with the language. That was the beautiful part of it, of saying that that you need to read the primaries because it gives you a feel for the way in which they thought to get us out of thinking like Americans or Black Americans and trying to understand Africa, right? Um, Zoo, what else? Zoo, unmute your mic. What else did they say?
Peace,
Reg,
peace to the panel. Peace, brother Reg.
Let's get
peace,
it popping.
Man,
Reggie.
man, that was a hell of a boomerang little interview.
Reggie,
I think she did great though. I heard some people saying kind of complain about some of the things that she was saying, but well, not complaining, but adding on and maybe having some questions about it. But
critique. Yeah.
yeah, critique. And I
Mm.
think one of the things is which is so important with some of the perspective that brother Reggie and Smash and others bring, it that is often critiqued is that Afrocentrity perspective, because she mentioned for instance the way women are treated in the neighboring regions, and saying that in contrast to Egypt, women were treated kind of poorly in contrast to Egypt, in other terms. But
right.
if you consider Sudan as a neighbor to Egypt,
Yeah.
then it will give you a different perspective. You know,
Yes.
so but that just comes with orientation. You know what I mean, and training. So I can't really fault her for that. You know what I'm saying? And I also feel like it's the same thing with the Kemet glyph. They kind of popped that on her. I feel like I could hear her voice kind of crackle a little bit when they asked her about that. So I don't know. Those are two things that
Well, yes. So
kind of
what we
popped
have
out.
with Egypt, what we call Egypt, is we have writing. What we have in what we know about Nubia and the Sudan is surviving practices of the Dinka and the Shylock and other groups of people. So we have that to try to find to understand Egypt. So if you look into the Shylock and the Nubian cultures, when it comes to women, it's very, very, very similar. The women
Mhm.
in the Meroic period and stuff like that, they were equal to men, or sometimes more equal because they had a lot of female rulers. So
Mhm.
the treatment of women in hereditary, right, birthright, blood was is definitely more you could see it in the Meroic period and you could see it in the Nubian in the Shalak peoples of today. So to say that other people were envious you would have, what she would have said was the people from the Levant, right?
Mhm.
People, uh,
Right. And maybe she didn't want to sound biased or something, but I feel like
right.
still that's actually the scholarship. You know what I mean? That's actually the scholarship.
Yeah,
There's a certain position that women seem to enjoy in African societies, in contrast to those northern cultures.
yeah,
Um,
because
yeah,
we also know that the women, they were the gatherers, the market, the bazaars, the marketplace. They the business women, and also there was a
definitely,
science
definitely.
too, sachet. So I mean, yeah, African culture when it comes to the matriarchal position, we know
Yeah, and I'm actually writing about that right now.
that,
Kinship
that,
terms, in Egyptian and in Wolof and in Coptic. And what I'm reading doing my literature review, um, man, they might say that ancient Egypt was patriarchal, but meaning that the rulership was very centered on the uh male focus and male heritage. But the
right.
society itself though was very leaned very towards the maternal line. So the
Well,
women,
they still understood the throne. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Solange Ashby talks about certain pharaohs, going back 7 generations, mentioning their ancestors.
Yeah,
So
You
because
know,
Dr. Ben always said, "Your daddy's maybe, but your mama's baby." So the woman is very important. That bloodline, that legacy is very important.
like you
Yes.
can't lie. You
Also,
can't
she
lie
was
about your
more than
mama.
just. She was also more than just a gatherer. That's a good point you made about the gathering. But she also was the first doctor in history, even before Imhotep. I think her name Pasejet, or I forgot
So
her
she,
name.
so
Well,
His
Shet,
mother.
the important thing is that that women were involved in the early time period as the priest administrators, including medicine, and
Yeah.
so the Samu the Sesmo the Samu Sesmo, I forgot the term, the actual term, that women were very important, and that they actually had whole papyruses on women's health, right?
right?
And so that part was important. What is Stat 12 says? Reg Ankh was saying that because Osiris is sometimes depicted green means that his blackness and his greenness relate to generation and farming metaphor. Yeah, anybody can say that. It's easy to say, it's harder to source, right? They tried to pin her down to say that these things were symbolic only. I think that that's the point, Sat. They tried to say that, make her say that these things were symbolic. Another thing that they did talk about, just trying to have us talk about some of the talking points, they started talking about sacrifice. So then they asked her about you know
Human sacrifice. Yeah,
so she said it was largely into the first and second dynasties, and
right.
then they started using Shabdis, right?
right.
So she did say that they didn't push her on the Tekkenu, which
Yeah.
we have agreed and disagreed on.
She also separated when you say first and second dynasties, but even prior to that, she also separated that wasn't really a Nubian uh ritual or rite. That
Oh,
was
she did that. You're right.
and that was
Who's talking? Zoo?
this is Ptah.
Ptah? Yeah, Ptah, you're right. Go ahead. Go on with that.
That it was more of an Egyptian thing where they, the pharaoh was uh, renovated or renovate. What is it? Renovated.
Retainer sacrifice.
Regenerated, or
No, give credence to by burying his servants, and those servants would actually, well, it was said that they would actually volunteer to be buried or killed or die with their Nesubiti, with their pharaoh. And but that was only, and I don't think that happened that often. Like she said, it was first and second dynasties, and I think they gave up that
That practice.
Yeah, that practice after those.
Well, but
those.
she also said that they didn't see a whole lot of sacrifice in Nubia
Oh,
until
not at all.
later periods. Huh?
Yeah,
Did she say
right.
that?
Animal, right, not human. Yeah, exactly. She said that.
Right. So then it was more of a she tabled it as more of an Egyptian practice during the pre-dynastic and to the second dynasty. So
Right,
that was um that was that was important that she said, though she did not source uh but she was good. She was actually good in kind of you know how the whole point of it is when I say something, Smash says something, Zeus says something, Chris says something, Pata says something, right? Neil says something. On their show, they act like they're super skeptics and they want to examine all of our sources. Where is that, right? They didn't
right,
do that to her. They
right.
didn't do that. They
Yeah.
didn't do that to her, huh?
No, no, they didn't. They didn't. And they didn't even push too much on some of the questions. I feel like Unc started to around the end, because he wanted a certain answer, I guess maybe. But
About the black.
He was quiet like
y'all
a
caught that?
mouse. Unc was quiet like a mouse, y'all. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But wasn't he quiet?
he was. But also just to get back to the source thing, I think we generally kind of it's good for an expert to bring to show sources to educate and say, hey, I'm not just saying this. And a lot of experts always tell you, a real expert will tell you, don't believe what I'm telling you, check behind me. And a lot of times they'll give you go here, go there, check this source, and you'll know what I'm talking about. They'll guide you. But yeah, it is something that probably should start to be done if an expert doesn't volunteer and kind of give us some sources. Because I have seen on Sonetta's show, some of the white guys they'll come out and say, "Here's where I got that. Here's where I got this." But yeah, it's best that the I think the expert should kind of give us some sources so we can check behind them or give
Well,
at
no,
least.
they didn't. I don't. She could have. She's well
Yeah,
read.
right.
I mean, I could see she's well read, right? So they didn't push her on that.
Yeah. So when
Satchwell,
you have
huh?
a PhD behind your name, I guess you kind of give them that respect because they are, they've gone through the research period of masters, and now they've written a dissertation that is supposed to be nuanced, and it's proved. They have their board and they've been tested. Their methodology is correct, and their supporting documentation. So whether it's a specific side, yes, a yes side or a no side, or if it's exploratory information. So I'm sure So we kind of when he got the PhD behind him, you can't
No,
disrespect
they
him.
were nervous.
Yeah,
It was nervous because they didn't. I don't think that they really wanted to ask. They didn't want too much pushback from her, right? They
I don't know.
didn't.
It might be almost disrespectful to be like, "Well, where's your source on that?" Or that's the way you can be tactful and ask. Can you give us a source on that so we can
For
kind
the
of learn?
listening audience, we're
Well,
trying
just
to
like they
study
did
it.
with the chem glyph, they put the source on the screen. You know what I mean? They put the source up for her. You know what I mean?
Right.
Wow.
And it almost seemed like they kind of caught her off guard because she kind of was like, a
Oh,
little hesitant. But it's a controversial topic, kind of. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So
Zoo, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Okay, you notice how from beginning to ending in the Medu every glyph, whatever period you was in, of the word for face of face was always a negrotic. I'm just using for a better term, a black or whatever
An
face,
African.
an African,
I
and
say
we
the
never.
majority. I say the majority for sure.
I've never seen one that looked at Nordic or any other type of, or even Semitic.
I'll give you better than that. Hope maybe somebody can find in Semitic languages or in Indo-European languages the same word for face. You
Oh,
know,
okay,
and and
yeah.
and the other words that consonant cluster makes. In Wolof, you say khar. That's your face. You know what I mean? Khar kanam. You know what I mean? So,
Well,
Mm.
and that's
listen.
in other languages as well.
Well, Africans vary, right? So the face that we see, the kind of her face, right, that we actually see, you can actually see that face in close in the Western Desert, right? They're bringing in lots of concepts from other places, right? The ochre painting itself, right, from other places. So they're bringing in these conventions. There's animals like the elephant and the ostrich that weren't definitely in the marsh areas. They were more savanna groups, savanna areas, right? Which they actually encountered. Brendan Sims, part of the pseudo killer, he's in the chat. If you want to come in, you're invited. He put it together. He did a very good job of putting it together and getting us this expert. I would like to know what his thoughts were on it. I see this Elohim guy talking about she didn't say black people, but she did say the adjective and noun of black. I think a better question would have gotten to a better answer. They didn't give her the question to get to the better answer. So for your little talking points about she didn't say black people, but she did say black, she did say people, she read the glyphs, she said country and city, she did that, right? The issue of whether it's the land of and stuff like that. Well, I need, Christopher is here. Christopher, how do you get black land out of it? I am curious.
Say again, Rich.
How do you get Kemet means Kemet with the people glyph, right? What does that mean to you? How do you translate that?
Yeah, well,
Me,
Kemet with the people glyph. I don't get black land out of that. I mean, I get people who inhabit a region. Right. I mean, again, remember, I forgot the guy's name, but there are ways to say black people. So when I see the word Kemet or Kemetu with the people glyph, to me, those are the inhabitants of that area. I don't translate them as being black
People of
people.
because
Okay,
right.
when you get TU, we can bring in the fact of inhabitants, but when you get to straight Kemet, right? Kemet with the A1, A2, and plural glyphs, well, what do you get out of it? You can say that's who they were. They call themselves Kemet. But what do you do with the adjective? What do you do with the construction of the adjective and the people? What do you do with it?
You make it a noun and it's a place, a toponym.
Well,
But
Christopher. Well,
Oh,
okay, so yeah, well,
no, that's fine. I mean,
do that.
I know what he's saying, but remember the adjectives can act solely as them by themselves as nouns. So depending on how it's used, it could refer to an object being black, clearly, and we have instances of that, right? It can also refer to a region or town, a area, a geographic area, a toponym, as the brother just said. When acting solely, when adjectives act nominally, right? It it becomes a thing, but it's not describing a it's not acting as a descriptive adjective when it acts nominally or act as a noun.
Okay,
Right. So like for example, the text we worked on last week from the Book of Gates, there was a sentence where it describes Kemet and Deshret.
yes.
In that instance, it's not appropriate to just say the black people and the red people, or even for that matter, you could try to get away with the black land only because you have the word Deshret there. That means the desert or the foreign land. But my first instance really it's not to translate it as the black land. When I see the word Kemet used and it's referring to a region, in my head I say region or Even it goes so far as an area that refers to wet and dry. Because Deshret is the desert, and Kemet is the fertile region along the Nile. So my knee-jerk response is to go with wet and dry. Because I agree with you. I don't see how it's necessarily just black land. It could be land, but not necessarily just how do you get black land out of that.
Okay, so we have some agreement on. We actually have some agreement on that, right? Okay, so the land is problematic, right? Now, what do you do with Kemet with the cattle determinative? Right, the cattle collective. What do you do with that?
Oh, right. So in that case, you have cattle. One word for cattle, as you stated, is Kim. Hold on, one second, Rich. I got some background noise. Hold on a second.
Okay, so some people.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah. So with the cattle determinative, right?
Mm-hmm.
The collective, the cattle collective, the cattle with the three plurals, right? When you have that, how do you translate Kim with that? Kim it with that. I'll show it to you in a minute.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know. I've seen it. Yeah. So depending on how it's used, in order for it to say a black cow, okay. So first of all, we got to talk about time period, because later on the word Kim for cattle became generic for cattle in general, right? But maybe there was a point where there was a point where they used it to describe a black cow or a dark cow, right? Yeah, but the noun is the adjective is acting descriptively there, though. It's actually it's describing something.
But it's not just acting descriptively with the people.
No, not so fast. Hold on a minute. No. So I know exactly what you're talking about, though. In that word kemet, right, or kemetiyu, the consonant cluster km can mean black there or dark. When it becomes kemet, it becomes a toponym. It's a place. Place never describes people. Place is a toponym. Then once you put the tu bird on it and make it into a nisbi, right? It's those people referring to that area, that city called Kemet. See, I think what's going on is when we see Kemetiyu in our head, sometimes we immediately look at the consonant cluster KM, and then we forget about the T, though, right? Because Kemet is a place, a region, right? And then we make it into when we put the TU on it, it's referring to this region, those individuals, those people referring to this region. We want to quickly jump past the feminine T there, to use the term, and go right to the root and say, hey, these are black people. But there's a way to say black people in Medu Neter, right? There's a way to say it.
I got
it.
Chris, can you say
write it as KMT? Yeah, go ahead.
Can you say it? The word, how would you say black people?
It can be said Kemu.
Kemu, okay.
Or it can be or a black one, Kemi.
Kemu. Kemu or Kemi, okay.
Yeah, Kemu or Kemi.
Now that's good enough. And I just wanted to ask you, with that being said that way, then
or you could say Remech Kim.
Remech Kim, okay. Now, but right. I want to ask you, Christopher, specifically, in all mythos in Kemet, the black, like when Khnum creates man and woman on the potter's wheel of the soil of Kemet, so would it be the black people? Because when I say that, I was studying with Asar Ka. He was saying that the wet was like, Asar was always known as the moist or the silt, right, as opposed to the desert was set.
I just had to hop out the bed not to cut you off, Neil. Peace to you. Because I was hearing Reggie and Chris's discourse, and I had to note something that Reggie's simply not talking about Kemetiyu, right? And so we don't really got no reference that the Kemet with the A1, the A2, and the people is actually referencing the land of just because it has a T there. You know what I'm saying? We could say that is the case. We all know that is the case, but we couldn't say it was definitive because we have other options like the KMT cow that has a T on it too, that we could never argue that Kemet means a reference to the land. And so
Never.
then, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to point out now everything Chris is saying seems to be correct about Kemetu, which is the one that will refer them as inhabitants of the land. But when you just got a K, a M, a T, a A1, a B1, and a Z2, 3 strokes, it's harder to form that argument that Kemet is a reference to a place, because we got the instance of a cow where it's not a reference to the place. I just wanted to add that in.
Oh, I'm gonna so this is I think these are the things that me and Smash and Chris would have asked the Dr. Rebecca Wang. We would have asked her these type of questions, right? With the language, right? So I'm share my screen. And so, okay, so let's go here. Let's just go here, Chris. Since I got my good brother Chris here. All right. Okay.
I
So
was about to say, do we have that sentence with the Kemet and just the Kemet and the A1, A2?
yeah, we have that. Okay. So we have that. So in this construction,
That was
you
up too.
see, I can blow it up a little bit bigger, I
Yeah,
think.
that's it.
Okay, a little bit
And
bigger.
I was going to add real quick as you pulling that up, Reggie. It seems as if with the cattle glyph, or I guess that would be considered either iconograph or a pictorial. It's like, okay, we know what a cattle is, so we don't need a word for a cow. It's just that picture. So then we know what that is, and then all we have to do is put an adjective on it. Kemp. It's a black.
Right. Right. So
So
the adjective lives. The problem, the problem that we're getting for is that some people want to exclude the adjective, right? So in this phrase right here, I
yeah, but
made,
it's just KM. It's not KMT.
what are you talking about?
Um.
No, that's
Oh,
KMT here.
well,
What are you
that's
talking about?
That's KMMT. But oh yeah, I
Mhm.
see that. I was thinking about the other one, the one with just the KM.
No, this
The
is a
cat.
collective. This is a collective noun.
Okay. Right.
KNT,
Yep.
cattle,
Yep.
plural. Collective
Yep.
noun, right?
Yep.
It's in the construction. I have made the cows of the herd all more,
Falling.
I've made the cows of the herd all more divine than their black herd, right? Example, I made the breed even more pure than it was originally. That's not in the text. And I enlarged their boundaries. And so this is the construction right here, right? Where you have Kemet, the black herd, right? And then you have this Hep, which is the
Yep.
divine herd. So now the adjectives survive. The black herd, which I didn't translate this, is translated, right? The black herd, and then it's saying it made it more purer, this phrase right here, the than the divine herd. So this over here, Hep is the Apis bull, right? The divine herd, the Apis bull, which they should have just said Apis instead of that, right? So it survives there. It's not okay. So the problem is, here's the problem. The problem is, okay,
Ready.
so
Is that taking the place of the people glyph? Could it possibly be taking the place, or a progenitor of the people glyph?
it's related to the people cliff because in that phrase, they're just not talking about cattle. They're talking about, so the Apis, the Kemet right here is the holy herd of black cattle. So if this is what Egyptologists don't do. So over here is the black cattle, right? Which is the holy herd of black cattle. They preserve the adjective. But then when they go to the same construction over here as Kemet, they won't say holy herd of black people, right? Same construction, but all of a sudden we say Egyptians. We don't say the holy herd of people. So if this is the holy herd of cattle, this should be the holy herd of people. I need an argument against that. That's what I need an argument against that, right? So that would be, and this is the phrase, yes. So this was the phrase from the over here that I protected the black herd, right? The black herd of Apis, right? I protected the black herd. And then here you have this interesting construction where it's the black herd, but then you have the people next to the cattle. So then this holy herd, right? I protected the holy herd. They're talking about cattle and people, right? Apis, hep, they're talking about cattle and people. So we have this construction. So I just need to hear an argument. It's very helpful from Chris to help me with this.
Yeah, how
So
you feel about that, Chris? So would
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah, I'm on it.
so
I'm
Reg,
on
would
it.
you be saying
So
that this T is a collective T then?
yeah, so look at the bottom for a second. So we have Kemet, right? We have the Met, we have the cow, the Ka, and then we have the three strokes, right? At first glance, if I put my hand over the Kemet to you at the top, right, and you just saw that in text, depending on the
What
period,
do you mean
you
commit to
probably
you? This commit to you right here? Because
um
this is not commit to you. This is commit to you.
yeah, no, I know, but sometimes though people have translated the one with the people as command to you too. I've seen that happen because that T at the end could be an abbreviation for T. So that's a possible translation. But right, but normally it's Kemet, but I've seen it translated as or can be translated as command to you. But let's go with Kemet though. But look at the bottom though.
Yes. Okay.
You have Kemet and you have Metka, right? I mean, I know all of those are supposed to be acting as determinatives, right?
Yes.
Then I would say, okay, then I would say you're right, right? About what you said about why doesn't the top doesn't say, where they do have black cattle in parentheses. So why don't the top has black people in in parentheses? At the bottom though, so I'm saying that's a genuine argument. But at the bottom, my first instinct would not be to translate that as Kemet.
Which one? This
The one where it says Kemet for the holy herd.
Your first instance would not to be translated as Kemet. You would translate Kemet to you.
No. I would translate it as Kemet Kau or something to that extent. I know they have Kemet there,
but this is a determinative. So the problem is
okay, no, you're right. In the top for people, that's a determinative. But down here at the bottom, these three you have.
Which one?
I know right there. Yeah, right there. I know, and especially in later times, words can have multiple determinatives and going into late Egyptian. Right, I follow that. But if you look at the translation, the holy herd, right, the holy herd, and put your hand over
that cow. Isn't that a determinative? That cow.
No. I know that, but what I'm saying, I'm trying to justify the meaning of holy herd.
Yes.
Right. If you saw that at first glance, most people would probably translate that as Kemet, and then the phallus would be a determinative.
Divine.
And then the cow.
Okay. So let's get rid of that example, right? Because
Reggie, let's look at that.
Because I gave you where it actually comes from. So
I saw, right there.
Over here. So let's go back over to here, to this Kemet with the cattle, where we actually have a phrase.
Right. I see it there. Ta.
So here is, I have made the over here, the divine herd or the sacred herd, the Kemet herd, right?
Right.
And then over here, more holier than the Apis, and here with the divine herd, which you have the seated man. So the divine herd Apis has a God figure, right?
Right.
And so this cattle over here is the cattle. We are looking at variations, Chris. So I do understand that with the penis, that's a variation, but this is it directly in the text.
Right.
Reggie, would that first one be in relation to the Nisut, and then the second one be the be the people, the divine herd, the people.
It would be the one is
It's
the
apis.
people. One,
No, they're all in
sorry, one is
reference
the
to
cattle.
cows.
One is the cattle, and the other is the God. This is the cattle, and this is the God. However, are they
The
really
apis.
talking about cattle, or are they talking about a sacred herd, which includes people?
Right. One is the Nasut and one is the people. One is the
Oh,
Pharaoh.
there's no Nasut here.
Yeah, right. No, so that's right. I know how you're getting that, but that's not. Yeah, that's not what
The
that's.
apis wouldn't be considered the Nasut
No, he's a God.
or the
Apis-
God. God wouldn't be considered the Nasut. He's the God
No.
on earth.
No, he's the Apis bull. He's the counterpart of the king, right? So the Apis bull is the actual an animal, right? That's divine.
Right.
The black cat, the black Apis bull, which it's the name right here is Hep.
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you feed on that one. I'm not gonna say no more about it.
Right.
I don't know.
I know
we
why you said it, because
understand.
sometimes the Nasut is likened to the mighty or the strong bull.
Yeah, the Karnak.
Right. But in this
Right.
case here, though, it actually tells you in the glyphs that it's the apis.
Right.
Yeah.
So
The
I'll
apis.
give you the construction of the Karnak right here. So Gila Khan, okay. So over here, this construction, right over here, right? This construction right here is, it says the day
Heru.
of Heru in
Ye.
Nacht, right? Ka in Kemet with the bull. So it says the
Right.
day of victory, right? Of the bull of the Kemet, of the cattle,
Right. Or the day of the mighty, the mighty
of the
bull of
black
Egypt.
cattle. Right? Okay, so so I don't think so. Right now, none of this is about place names. These are collective nouns. These are not toponyms.
Well, in this case, though, Kemet is being used as the place, though. Here, see where it says net Kemet? That's a place.
Wait, net.
Go over to the right, right there.
Net Kemet? No,
Yeah.
it's not, because it has the the cattle plural at the end, and they translated.
Oh, you blow it up on me. Yeah, I didn't see that right. That's
Oh, it's
a cow at
okay.
the end.
Yeah,
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I see it now.
in
I see the plural
Quebec with
strokes.
the little cattle, right?
Yep, I see
So
it.
the translation, not from me, but from Flinders Peaches Atribus, is they are saying that it is the day of victory of the bull
Of the
of
bull.
the black cattle,
Yep,
right?
got it.
So no place. So the issue is, okay, well, when we want to,
Is that the cow above the cattle, Reggie? Above
was
the
that the
cattle?
what? That was a
Is,
cobble. Yeah.
is that a cow above the cattle on the glyph?
Let's go back to it.
See the strokes, the plural strokes, then the cow. Is that a cow above it? Is that divine?
You're talking about right here?
No, Reggie, go back to the one with the two bulls.
Because I mean, we know it's saying, we can see the picture. It's saying that the black bull beat the spotted bull.
Oh, you mean the other one? Okay.
Yeah, the picture. Go back to the picture.
So let's go back to the other picture. Sorry. So
the one where I missed the determinative. It was my right. Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So here goes right here. So we would, if we want to say Kaul.
See at the end, you got the three strokes, and then you have the cow lift, and above that, is that a cow?
Where are you talking about?
No,
This
that's Nechet.
Yeah, this is Nechet.
That's the word Nechet.
Nechet, right? Strong bull.
Strong bull. Well, strong is the bull.
Strong bull.
Strong barrel. But
yeah.
Is that a cow above the right at the end, right to the right at the end? You got the three strokes, then you got the cow glyph, and then above that the cow. Is that the penis glyph?
No, I'll blow it up, but it's
do you see what I'm talking about?
You're talking about this
single
thing right here?
That single line right there.
This single line right here. I have to get it from the original.
Right. It could be though.
But but the way it's so you translate it. Okay, so the magic is to translate it now. So what does it say?
Well, to translate it, I would say the divine herd. Oh, you talking about translate the whole thing? But that
No,
particular
no,
right,
what you're talking about. That so after the N
Kemet,
and
Kau,
you say kawu, but the problem is then there's the plural down here, right? So what do you do with this, and then you do with this?
what did you do with the one that you thought I was talking about with the three strokes? Is the three strokes always pronounced?
It's not for collectives.
No,
Kemet, Kemet Kaui or Kemet?
Not for collectives.
Right. So then that
Right.
wouldn't be pronounced. Those three strokes would not be pronounced.
Right.
Right.
So it's just Kemet. Right.
it's
Right.
just command.
So that's the divine herd.
Right.
The black herd.
So,
Yeah.
so that's probably a Kau symbol.
Well, it's not. It's
No,
just
no,
it's just command, right, with the determinative. If you're talking about this thing over here being the kau, if you're talking about that, then I have to ask you to translate it.
Is that a dual determinative? The cow and the cow?
Then translate it.
I
It would
think
be
I think I think
her
what he's asking is
black.
so the answer is yes. Sometimes words can have more than one determinative. If that's what you're asking, yes,
Right.
that's very possible. Yes.
Two deities. Yeah.
Is he asking if that's the phallus glyph back there?
Right. If I think it's the phallus, the Met glyph.
Okay, so okay, so then translate it.
That'll change the meaning though. Even if it is the
Right.
Met glyph, it still would say Kemet.
We've translated it already.
Right.
Yeah, that
So-
would just be a phonetic compliment for real.
Right.
No. It wouldn't be a phonetic
No.
compliment.
It
No.
wouldn't.
The phonetic complement. If you look right there, you got the Kim glyph, and you get the owl would be the phonetic complement to the Kim glyph. You have the bread loaf, and you have two determinatives at the end of that word, Kemet. You have the bull. I'm blowing it up now, Reggie. You have the bull that's there with the plural strokes, and that
Yeah.
single stroke most likely is probably the Met glyph. But that would change.
But then it would be the day of victory of the bull of the black bulls. It wouldn't be cattle.
Right. Because
So it
I
would
mean
change the whole thing. It would
might be
change.
only,
But black is inclusive here though. It's not. See, I know what's going on. When we see the word black bull in our heads, black is the adjective, bull is the determinative. Not that determinative, but the noun. But the way it's written here,
Yes.
right? Reggie, put up the Kemet with the phallus and the bull again.
and
Yeah.
even though
But
we
see,
only
that's a
So,
bull.
Chris, how would you classify that line glyph, that Met glyph that's up there?
as a determinant,
Like he showed on another slide. I think that's just a determinative to just kind of push the point through that this is a virile animal or black bull.
right. And
Right there.
even though we see the picture of only two bulls, that black bull is also part of the herd, but it is probably the dominant
There it is.
bull of that.
So here we go. Here, sorry.
Right there. Boom. Right. So in this case here, the Met glyph.
Hey, sorry, I'm messing up. I'm not messing up on purpose. I'm
No. We saw it though. Yeah. So the Met glyph here and the bull and the three strokes, those are all part of the determinative. So you're tempted to say, and I don't know why, to say black bull, right? But remember though, for descriptive adjectives, right, it would be the other way around. If you want to say the black bull, it wouldn't look like the way it's written out here.
Okay, but so sorry.
The Apis bull represents the collective, meaning the holy herd. It is just the one that won the battle for the holy herd, who are all together, who are represented as one. Just the Apis is the leader, quote unquote.
Well, you gotta look at the phrase of the sentence. So I don't. So you're talking about over here where it says I protected. I protected the
screen black, Reggie.
Huh?
The screen is black.
My screen is black. So what?
Yeah. Oh no, I thought you were reading for something.
Yeah. My screen. Okay. So what happened is I had Control to share. Okay.
It happens. No biggie.
Okay. So you see it now?
Yep, right there.
Okay. So one of the things is that of course the problem with Vigus again is that Vigus will give me a vocabulary but won't give me the phrase in which it's from so I can check, right?
Right.
So here I do have a phrase, right? So I protected the black herd, right? Right, of Apis. And the problem, yes? And the problem with this is that it has a dual determinative with the plural cattle and a man and a plural cattle. I mean, and sorry, and the deity and a man. And we know this particular man is really like a god, and because he has the kind of beard, right? So so reconcile that for me. Reconcile it for me. Take away the black herd,
So,
the sacred
so
black herd. Take it
but
away.
that's a holy herd. It's a holy herd. It's divine because you have the deity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's not only just the holy herd, we know that the Apis bull is dark or black and it has the Kim glyph,
But
right?
that's 3 strokes.
Right. No, I'm talking about this. I ain't talking
Right.
about that. I'm talking about this.
The Kim right there.
Oh,
And we know how the Apis bull is selected. But I don't think I mean we can go on this but and Smash gave us a great compliment to this with when Jet, right? When Jet the cattle, same construction as when Wet the people, right? Same construction. And I also wanted to pull this in was if I took away the cattle, I'm still left with the collective noun, which is the Ramesh. So the beautiful thing about this construction of Kemet, right? The construction of Kemet, if I take away the Kemet, I have the people. So you have to say that this is people, right? As a
right.
collective noun. And then the Kemet now, the most important thing about this is there's no land construction. There's no land construction with this. This is Kemet, and you have to deal with the adjective like you deal with the adjective with the black cattle.
Right.
Otherwise you are in some type of contradiction, and the contradiction always occurs when it deals with the Kim glyph. That's the only glyph. So if we did the Winjwet, right? The Winjwet, right? Okay. So this adjective, how can I say the Winjwet type, this remains. The problem is only when we insert the Kim do we have this incredible problem that we do have.
But
Now,
Reggie,
Reggie, watch this. Reggie, go back to that. No, let me get this for a second here. Look at the word Winjut.
Yes.
Do you know what the word Winju or wind mean by itself?
I'm thinking it's a particular cattle in a particular cattle in a particular place.
Okay, so the root here, Winju, or the stem here,
Yes.
can mean like wild animals or
Yes.
billy goats or herds of wild animal. Are the people herds of wild animals here?
free range.
Well, we don't have to deal with that because they have the definition. It just they
No, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is right down at the bottom here for Winju in parentheses, why don't they have parentheses wild people or just
But what they do have is a description of them. So one description is not there, what you say, which is wild, right?
Or free range,
or
like
free range, and
yeah, like herding animals, yeah,
is fellow in groups, like a grouping of people, right?
other.
right. But what I'm saying is, why do they divorce the meaning of the stem of Winju away from Winjut? Why do they just say people or fellow human beings?
Well,
Why do they divorce the meaning that deals with field or herding animals away from it.
Okay, because this could just mean common.
It's a description. I see what you're saying, because
Right.
that's an
It could just mean, yeah, it could be just common people, regular, common, everyday people.
You know, I agree with the saying. No, I agree with you 1,000%. I'm with you. But what I'm saying is, why do they divorce that meaning away from when used here for people? Why don't they say, you know, the people like animals or herding animals or, you know, wild people? Why do they just divorce that away from when used and just say human
Because
beings?
they give a closer characteristic that would apply to humans versus cattle.
politically correct.
Yeah, politically.
Yeah, no problem with that, right? But the same thing. So why not do that with Kemet?
Well, with Kemet, that's my question. Why don't
No,
they do it with Kemet? Because with Kemet,
Yes, I agree with you. No, I agree with the saying, Reg. I'm with you, but I'm just trying
right?
to
My question
tease
is,
it out.
I
Just trying to
agree
tease it out.
with Vigus. I mean, I agree that the problem I said is that Vigus doesn't give you the textual references so that I can go back and we can build these type of constructions, right? We don't. So in this lesson that I did, so in this phrase right here, right? So it's basically he ruled, he F, right? Heck and F, he ruled, and then it's Kemet with the people, right? Right? And then it's Erdi, NF, Deseret, right? With the hill country, M, Ab, right? So one translation is he ruled Kemet and he placed the Deseret on the Ab, which on the Ab, which the Abef, which is the horns. Another translation was he ruled. So why can't this be? Here's the problem. Why can't this be he ruled the black people, right? Which are the Egyptians, right? And here's the Deseret, right? Which is something happening in the hill country. The Deseret is the red, the collective. Well, what? No, it's not collective. Sorry, Deseret, the describing a place in the hill country where people preside. So why is this? Why? So when I look at the Egyptologist, and then I want to go back to the conversation that we were having with what happened with Dr. Rebecca Yang, is that okay? So the Egyptologists, they do this. This is what they do. Where is it? Where is it? And I
Hey,
definitely
wait, they let that Egyptologist get away with murder.
don't do that.
Get away with murder.
Don't do that.
well, whose side was they on? Right? Oh, I wanted to show you this Kemet, which was the dog. So now we know that this Kemet with the determinative is a dog, right? But it's not just a dog. His name is Blackie.
Blackie. Come here, Blackie.
His name is Blackie. So now the adjective stays with this.
But there's no T.
What?
Wait,
What?
I don't see. Wait, can you blow that up for me, Reggie? I'm trying to see it.
There's no T. There's two. No, his name is Kimmel or Kimmy. Sorry.
Right.
His name is, but he's Blackie. So the adjective that the Kim is in this form with the bowl and the M, Kimmy, he Blackie, right? So the adjective stays.
That don't look like Kim to me. I'm trying to see it.
What, you don't see it as a Kim?
Yeah, I was trying to tell you that don't look like two. That don't look like a Kim glyph there. Don't look like a Kim to me.
Who's saying? Who's speaking?
That was me. It looks like two. Right. That looks like two. I see a K.
It looks like a B. And two neckings, two cables.
Right.
Well, no,
two cables.
one has a handle and one doesn't.
Two and the EU bird, right? No,
this is the owl.
owl.
K-M-I. And the dog
I think
determinative.
that's the word for greyhound or dog, isn't it?
M&I. Necking, two cables and M&I. Sorry.
Yeah, it looks like two cables.
I think that's 2K bulls.
Yeah, that don't look like any. I mean, that don't look like Kim.
Here's the
Written. I think it is Kemi though.
yeah, yeah, it's Kimmy. I think I'm just trying to figure out where the source is. I think this is the source of it. Oh, let me just go up. It might be a little bit
Is it right? That's somebody's blackie. Somebody's blackie.
yeah. It's the king's he has 5 dogs. And
Yeah.
one of the dogs is Blackie. So let me just see if I could find that.
But I'm beginning to feel that T is place name. It's the divine herd of Kemet, the people of Kemet. I'm starting to feel like that's the place name.
But who's saying that?
It's Ptah.
But you're feeling it, but then the problem is rule of the collective of the collective. So what happens when you see this with the Kemet and the cattle? This is starting to feel like a place name.
The divine cattle of Kemet. Yeah.
The divine.
No, that's talking about cattle right there. That's not a
Or
place
what?
name.
Can't see it. Or just the cattle of Kemet.
The Kemet.
Okay, so then let's go back to the phrase. Let's just go back to this phrase of where's this phrase that we had? Yeah, so let's go back to the phrase. So then let's see if it works. Translate it.
Okay, I'm looking at the YouTube, so it's catching up. Okay, which one? Where are we going?
Start
Right
at the beginning, right there.
Which one? At the top?
Right there. Yep, right there where his cursor is at.
Right.
You're talking about with the bulls, with the bull, right?
With the placenta and the Desher arm or the Hu arm.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm rusty now. Help me out. Kui. That's
Problem. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just take it from this translation, right?
right.
You're
So
right.
like I made, right? The cows, the Kemet, plural, the herd of cattle, the black cattle, right? And then it goes to Hepu, right? Hepu, right?
Wait
And
a minute. Start over.
Oh, goodness, let me blow
So
it up.
I'm thinking it would be the say it like that. Say it the cattle of Kemet instead of the black cattle. Say the cattle of Kemet.
The cattle of Kemet don't work like that because the terminatives don't work like that. It don't work like that.
Yeah, it does.
No, it don't. So what is it?
You have the black right there, or the glyph for black right there.
Yeah, Kemet.
It just doesn't work like this. This is just straight Kemet with the determinative plural.
Right.
I'm not in this Hepu. I'm not I'm not.
Primitive, and you have the strokes.
Yeah.
Know what you're talking about. You can't just say Kemet.
You can. It's Kemet. It's Ta Kemet.
Yes, Ta Kemet.
So
Kemet.
It's just Ta.
Yep,
so the ta means cattle.
No. Ta is the definite article. Duh.
Ta
And it agrees in gender and number. It agrees in gender with the noun that's after it.
So I guess when it's written, you don't have to say it. But how would you, if I wasn't writing this and you couldn't see what I wrote, and I'm trying to say that those cattle over there, how would I say that? Just point out again. Remember I said earlier, because they know what the bull is. So when you have that one glyph where it just has the chem glyph, the crocodile with nothing else, no T, just a chem, and saying
it's simple.
You know what it's a black cat.
If you don't agree with the translation, let me hear how you're trying to construct it.
Right. No, so that made word should be there. It should be I protect. I protect the bull or the herd.
It pulled me back. Yeah. It just pulled me back. So yeah. Because in reading, you don't read the bull.
Simply they're the black cattle.
Yeah.
Right, thank you
Black
so
herd.
much.
That's what I
Because
see there.
Yeah, it's
Chris
Kemet.
left out the black. He left out the black herd.
Yeah,
He left out.
that's clear. Yeah, that's clear. That's
No,
clear.
no, no. The black would be in parentheses. That word right there does not say right there. Forget about the English translation. That
Yeah.
word right there, ta kemet, would just be the bulls, but the bulls happen to be black. That does not say the black bulls.
Where does it say happens to be black?
Yeah. Oh,
No, no, no. I say it happens to be black. I'm talking about the English over there. If you put your hand over the English,
I'm not looking at the English now. I'm listening
right,
to
right. So if you the word ta kemet, just put a box around that, Reggie. Can you put a box around that?
right.
Put a box around that ta kemet. Okay, so right there. So ta kemet. All that's one word.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the word kemet here, I know implicitly is talking about black. I'm not fighting. I ain't got no issue with that. But
Right.
the word itself here would be the bulls. It does not directly translate into black herd, because in English the word black herd will be an adjective, and herd would be the noun. But you don't see that over here.
well, we can listen. Let's disagree on another show, because we can interchange Chem with desert, right? Well, we can be talking about the hedge bulls, the red bulls, right? You see the black here. I don't know. We can.
No. I agree with what you're saying. I don't have any issue with that. But see, a beginner would look at this ta kemet,
Yes,
and then go over to the English and say black herd, and then in his or her head they would think that ta kemet is literally saying the black, literally like with the glyphs, Reggie, saying the black bull. Oh, I'm sorry, the black herd. But in the glyphs, it's just
Really,
it's just a definite article, ta, and then the word kemet,
herd.
the herds or the herd. We know the word kim for black is there. I'm not fighting that.
right, but it's a particular type of herd, because then it fixes it when you put
It's
in.
not dealing with singularity when you're dealing with the three strokes. We got to remember that. So that's why it's herd instead of singularity being
He
bull.
knows that. It's just the black. You're trying to say that the person wouldn't say the black herd, they would say the herd.
Yes.
And I would disagree, because this
But
makes
Reggie, that's what it says in the glyphs.
it's nominal. It's nominal, because then now you can connect it with the black divine herd of Apis.
The divine.
Right. But he's just not, he's selected because of his color.
I ain't got a problem with the color.
Okay.
I don't have color.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I ain't gonna the color hang up, Reggie. I'm talking about what it just says there in the glyphs.
They do.
I know the word Kim is there, but the word Kim can also be used to represent cattle or cow. I ain't got no problem with that.
Color does mean something.
Yeah.
No, I'm not fighting color. Right. I don't fight color. I'm just looking at what's written here. And if you put your hand over the English and you know that the word Kim also means cow, or cattle, in this case, it's a collective. You can get black out of that because the word Kim is there. I'm not fighting that. But just looking at it, it just says Ta Kim.
I think it's because we won. Now we're trying to see to make sure maybe we aren't right. Let's just check it.
No. I mean, Chris, actually, listen, I have to value his grammar. I value it, and I think that we continue to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
But I think I have a strong point, and
No, you do, Reggie. But Reggie, do you see what's happening? Every time we see the word Kim now, it does not mean black every time. And I'm afraid that for people coming up behind us and who are listening on these shows,
does not mean black
every time.
It depends on the classifier. So over here, so if we read this, right? Forget this okay. So what does this say? What does this say, Chris? This is commit to you, right?
Yeah, blow it up. Yeah, that's commit to you.
All right, translate it.
So we have aha ek. So you will stand, or you are standing. Well, this lady Egyptian, it will be you are standing in front of.
This is Old Kingdom.
Place name.
Okay. No. I was just saying if it was, but yeah. So you have aha ek keneti, kemet, and then the apis. So you stand literally. Yeah, you stand. I don't know about you will, but you stand in front of
The
And move
foremost
the
of
commit to you.
right?
Yeah, the
Right?
commit to you.
A commit
Where's
to
the-
you. Does a
where's the-
commit to you mean, now here's the thing, is commit to you mean black?
Well, in this instance, since the next word talks about a bull,
Right.
right? Then this is in context about animals. So I know it has the Kim glyph there, but it could also say you stand before the inhabitants and of the Apis bull, the inhabitants of Kemet and the Apis bull.
The inhabitants of Kemet, what does Kemet mean?
The black land.
Oh, no, that you can't do the black land because there's no land, there's the country glyph.
The determinative.
Well, in this case, you're right. It's the city. The city glyph can also denote inhabitants. That's
the town.
Right.
yes, it has a town, the town determined there. So yeah.
For the foremost of the commit to you, right? Like Apis.
That's Kemu, isn't it?
No, that's not Kimmel. That's commit to you.
Where's
That's-
the T?
It's a TU bird right here.
You bird.
Oh, that's the TU? Okay,
Yep.
okay.
So then,
Okay.
so then so you know with Kimmel is interesting because Kimmel is not a collective. Kimmel is not a collective.
Oh, that's singular masculine, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. So where's
But
Kimmel?
Kimu can also be a participle too. Those who, the one who is black or the black one
Right. It's still
Or-
singular masculine though.
or the blacks. Yeah. I mean it could be blacks too if you but you
Louis.
have Kim being black or you.
Kemui.
And so the issue with Kimmel here, right, is a noun, right, from Vigus, right, which Sonoron picked up, right, and then it has a seated man. So now this is a noun. So black is a noun, but it's related to the determinative.
That's a divine black, isn't it?
No, he's speaking. He's seated man speaking.
Yeah, it's a man with a hand to his mouth.
Yeah,
What's that? That's curly.
that's
the
ooh. That's ooh.
Ooh.
That's transliteration. So if you look at the transliterations,
Oh, that's Kemu. Okay, that's Kemu.
Yeah, Kim.
I did put it here. Where's the transliteration of Kim?
Black man. That's the black.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's the coil.
Right, which is usually a group,
Ooh.
Okay.
right? The ooh sound. But
Yeah.
I'm getting back. So let me just get off of this. Let me stop sharing. Let's get back.
And I'm probably a few minutes
good,
behind.
Rich.
But Chris, you got examples of the Kim being used for cattle that is not black, that aren't black?
Yeah, I'll show them to you. I got some examples from the New King. The
'Cause
word,
that'll
probably-
help a lot for us to understand.
Yeah, the word becomes generic. I mean, I'm on my iPad now though, but later on in the New Kingdom, words become generic, right? It means cattle in general, but its origins come from cattle being black or dark cattle. Yeah. Yep. Next time we hook up, I'll on my Mac.
That are other colors than black.
Yeah, no, right now there are cattle, and there are other words for that too. You have a word ihu that means cattle.
No.
Right,
No. Do you have the word kemet that is describing a herd that is not black?
The word kim is used for cattle in the New Kingdom to talk about cattle in general.
But
Yeah,
are they?
that's-
But there's no color connected.
No,
to
it's
that?
just cattle in general. It's just it's cattle in general.
guess
So that
have to-
right.
so
But
hold
the
on,
origins
hold
of it
on,
come
hold on.
from that
Because
specific.
we
cattle.
could do that instantly. So
Yes,
let's
TLA.
Yeah.
But we might have to assume that they're black. They just might be black. There were only black cattle at that time in that area.
Yeah, that's possible. I guess you could say that. Yeah, I guess when it's being used, you could say that it was used for all black cattle. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible.
So which entry am I going to
Go
pursue?
to. I actually a better place to go would be to go to Ramses Online, but that's a new.
So I have to wait on that. Yeah, because I'm gonna be really fumbling and bumbling.
Yeah, you gotta go to Ramses Online. That's the late Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
Text corpus.
I'll be back. Sorry.
All right. Duty calls.
Yeah.
You might want to mute Reggie. Oh.
Yeah, if you start studying late Egyptian, you see that some words, the way you translate them in Middle Egyptian, the meanings becomes a little bit more laxed in late Egyptian.
A little more
I'm with
generic.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, and it's just because of time, over time.
Right.
You know?
They're
Yeah.
so used to language.
Yep.
And
they
do
get
the
lax with the words, and they decide using words. I mean, like you got
That's what Sonoran.
cattle. You got Ihu cattle.
That's what Sonoran said about Kemet too. He said it did mean it could be used to say black people, but the black by the time they used it, it wasn't felt with that meaning. He didn't say could. He said if they wanted to say that, they would have said that. But he's saying by the time it was used, it wasn't really felt with this original meaning. I only interpreted that he might have been trying to imply that it originally meant black, but later it lost that meaning. I mean, you know.
Yeah. I don't fight that. Absolutely.
Yeah, but at the time period that I'm using it,
exactly.
In Dynasty, it's directly, it didn't forget the meaning. So he might be talking about, but he hurt himself by saying Kemu. So, but so Kemu loses its original meaning?
No, you're right. And also, Chris's attestation when cattle become generic is he's bringing that from, you said the New Kingdom or later, or late Egyptian, or just New Kingdom?
Late Egyptian, New Kingdom, yeah.
And so it probably ain't contemporaneous to your attestations either. At that time period, they would have been meaning black cattle. So let's go to see that Reggie ain't just doing that. Like, I wanted to just show that they say divine herd on here. At one of these, they say divine cattle. And I was like, okay, they saying divine cattle. But I don't want to interrupt anymore because I was enjoying listening.
Or the cow.
Pardon me. Here we go. Black cattle, divine herd. Now, funny enough, Let's Go is actually late Egyptian too.
Yep, that's late Egyptian. Man.
Yeah, and so
dictionary rather.
Yeah, we got it in the old Egyptian or Middle Egyptian with the word of bush, and also a source in the late Egyptian showing that this Kemet will be used to say black cattle or divine herd in those time periods. If we click through the attestations, we'll have to do our own mental netter because they got the 12. They basically ain't gonna explain it for people, and so this one of them, but he ain't got the whole reading here. And I don't. Are y'all seeing this?
Yeah, we went over that. Yeah.
Oh, y'all just went over all these.
Yeah.
No, we didn't get all of them. No, we didn't look at the TLA because we looked at the types, but we didn't look at what the TLA was actually saying, right?
Oh, right. So, we weren't in the TLA. We were just
something of Heliopolis. What does get mean? Cattle of.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you on line number 4, or where you starting from?
No, I'm trying to translate the German. I haven't separated German.
Okay.
Something of Heliopolis.
In this line, we can clearly see they talking just about cattle. I don't think nobody's objected to that. But I think we're trying to see how are they divine or something.
That Kim loses its meaning, and he's just talking about what Chris is just trying to say is saying the herd, not saying the black herd, right? That's the problem. That's what Chris is saying, and why would the black herd lose its meaning when the Apis cult, the Serapium, is there until the period of the Cambyses, right? So until Cambys, Akasi after Cambys eats the black bull, right? Because he ate the black bull.
But
he
Reggie,
yes.
It didn't lose it in the time period of your attestation.
Oh, it didn't.
Well, so we can proceed.
Yeah, it did not. And this is the formation of, this is in the time period of the beginning of the usage of the word. So That's all that that's all I am concerned with. No, it did not. So I need to see where I need to see a write-up where it actually lost the meaning and we can't translate it no longer as Kemet, but at the time period that I am talking about, it's in full formation. And yeah, and so when they put up the when the pseudo killers put up that glyph, uh
The herd.
again, huh? Say what?
No, I was just thinking the herd of people, the herd of cattle, the herd. It could be the herd instead of the place name.
It's not the place name. That
Right.
it's the place name has nothing to do with it. And then Kemetiu has the same problem. Kemetiu has the same problem. Sometimes they're putting emphasis on the Nuit. Sometimes they're putting emphasis on the people,
Yeah.
right? It has the same construction. For example, over here, if I share my screen, I'll give you here it goes right here. Share. So in this version, this is in the Old Kingdom where it mattered, right? Where Kemetiu was like Apis, right? It blow this up. Fine. We know that this Kemetiu is like Apis from the text, right? This Kemetiu right here puts an emphasis on the people. Why? Because the people glyph is there and it's plural. So the Kemetiu here is the people, and when they translate it, they just translate it to as Egyptians, right? So all this inhabitants of the black land and all of that stuff like that for Kemetiu, it doesn't work with this. This is inhabitants of this Kemetiu with the people, right? So this is black land.
Herd
No,
of people. Herd of people.
yeah.
Divine herd. Well, yeah, herd.
Kemetiu is always the divine herd. Sometimes it's the how can I say the people in the city, and here's the people direct. So we can this version over here was a more difficult version where it doesn't have this Kemetiu right here. This Kemetiu is just a cattle farm, right?
But what about the city determinative? Is that going to be herd city?
No. Why would it be her city?
Because we're kind of translating Kemet as
Black
herd.
is black
You
community.
see what's happening, Reggie?
Yeah, I see what's happening.
Uh-huh.
But the problem is it's happening without the context, because the context is I don't have to do herd city because I can just go to the text where it lives right here. I don't have to play. I don't have to play those games. Those games is not when we have multiple people, right? With you could say you could stand before the inhabitants of Egypt, right? Right? Like Apis, you can say that, but you can also say you will stand before the people of Egypt, like Apis, the black people of Egypt, like Apis. So we're still arguing out, but let's argue it out intelligently, right?
Right. Oh yeah, no doubt about that.
I'm not doing the pseudo killer games or the skeptic game with no information. So he goes, now this is Solomon. The form Kemetiu can only mean two things: those of Kemet, but he's not defining what Kemet is. The inhabitant, he's not breaking down what Kemet is, right? Kemet is just a place name. Right? The inhabitants of Kemet. Now he says the black country. So now what he does is beautifully, he preserves for us the black, right? Okay?
Yeah, he's
So,
treating it as a topping, yeah.
right? He preserves it as the black compliment. So then he says it was a derived adjective nisba formed from a geographical term, which had become a proper name, right? It was not necessarily felt with its original meaning. Here, it's not felt with its original meaning. No, all Diop would have said was put this case up here. It's felt with its original meaning because he's aligned with Apis. But what they did was they just looked at the word without the reference word. This is the first time that we actually see it. And it is preserved with the original meaning. Okay? So there you go.
Hey Reggie, do you have the Smash around? I wanted to look up a word on the TLA.
Okay, let's stop sharing my screen. I'll go to the TLA. I mean, I could go to the TLA, Chris. I'm well equipped.
Oh no, I know you know, but Smash, Smash normally have it on deck. Be like right there.
Okay, so let's go to the TLA. Sorry, let's go to the TLA. So TLA.
Y'all having a fire dialogue, by the way, man. It's a fire dialogue. I'm gonna hop back in the chat though.
No, Chris is the last standout that I respect. I respect Chris.
Chris,
yo,
remind me of see my background. Is that stance? What's the word for that stance that they're in?
Hindu folk.
I'm about to say Hindu.
Hindu, yeah. I couldn't remember that to save my life.
Right. And you know it's not sideways; it's to the front. That stance is it's aspective. So really, they're facing the front, not the side.
Right.
Okay,
right.
good.
Yeah. So this is you usually see this in the early dynasties of Butu, right? So that's where you see the reference. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. I think
Black power symbol.
Listen, you messing with Chris. Don't say that. Just say that. Just keep it in the Egyptian context, right?
Yeah, man. Don't get me started on that.
He ain't going for that. He ain't going for that. He's the last standout, but at least he's respectful and knowledgeable. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Egyptian words.
Yep. Kemet.
Okay. Spell it for me.
KM.
Capital K?
So lowercase K.
Yeah.
Lowercase M. It might be try.YT.
Can I just go to I6? Let me just go to the I6 and just look at the I6. Well, no. Okay, I'll do it. Lowercase K, what?
Try YT.
YT.
Yeah, see that it may be a dot there. We'll see.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Okay, try KM.YT. KM.YT.
KM.YT.
Oh wait, some came up. I guess this is we want KM.YT. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll go back to that one.
Okay.
And get rid of that dot. Yep, get rid of that dot there.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm sorry, somebody's calling me. And
okay, so it's the other spelling.
Go for a second, right?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Chris, did I take a class with you with Ujau? Was that us?
No, I haven't had a class with Ujau in probably 5. It's been over 4 years, 5 years.
When it was Emicat, me, I think who else was it? About 4 or 5 of us. I took it twice too as well. But yeah. I never
took the beginners class with Ujau. I took his
grammar.
I took his regular grammar class. So we probably were sitting in together talking about some stuff, but yeah, because I took my beginner classes with Raketi Amin. That's been years ago now. It's been years ago. Yeah.
I sat in the grammar class too.
Okay.
Too. But I never got the certificate for either one. I never finished.
Oh, you got to go back and finish, man.
Yeah, with somebody. I reached out to I reached out to Smash. Smash, like, I ain't teaching nobody. I'm just gonna do my online thing. And
just
then
take it with finish up with Ujau or take it with Raketi Amin.
I don't know where Ujau is. He out. He out. But
they still meet on Sundays.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Still meet on Sundays. Or take it with Brother Bonacci.
I reached out to Infodici, but yeah. If Wujao was still out there on Sundays, I'll reach out.
Yeah.
Sesh Meta Group?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Cool. But I enjoy learning, just by y'all. It refreshes me, and then I continue to learn in these builds too. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you get the little pieces add up, man. The little pieces add up. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I missed all of those. The beginners levels classes with him. So when I came in, I jumped right into his the verbal system, going into the verbs, stuff like that. The syntax of the language. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I had started with Riquetti Amen. It's about 8 years ago, almost 9 years ago now. So I got some time in.
Yeah, definitely. That was his teacher as well.
Yep. And then I've been doing Lady Egyptian now for about the past 3 years.
Yeah, you kept going. You hard body. Yeah, I appreciate that. All that.
Yeah, man, get all the information, then just come back and just get in these little conversations like this, and just drop tidbits, and eventually it'll all add up.
Yeah,
it'll all add up.
Yeah, because
we just finished up Horus and Set. I'm with this group, Lady Egyptian group. We just finished up Horus and Set, and what's good about that is we actually look at it from the hieratic. So we do the hieratic, and then we do, of course, the glyphs. And the grammar, we pounding out the grammar. You have to just slow down, and what you notice already, the stuff that you already know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then it becomes fast later on. Then you find yourself talking about it and kind of ripping through it really quickly. Because you gotta you slowed down and crawled.
You've seen it so much that you swallowed it up, and now you can regurgitate it pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and text. Just got to translate text.
Phrases real fast. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. You gotta, if we're gonna do this together, and of course you're well on your way. We gotta stop looking at it word by word by word. Right. If we want to start reading text, like reading them in depth, like you said, just mentioned a while ago, we gotta graduate from words to phrases to clauses to sentences.
Right.
Yeah. That's a must.
Yeah. Exactly. Got to read above and below the sentences to see exactly what it's talking about, to be able to truly interpret it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Word. Because we don't read English like that.
Right. Just like reading the Bible. You can. Yeah, exactly. Because you can pull any phrase out and make it say what you wanted to say.
Y'all might have gotten me because I was offline unless Smash was here.
No, I think Smash chilling. No, you
straight waiting on you.
Yeah, waiting on you.
Okay, because so did y'all change? Where am I with showing your reference?
So KM, try KMYT again. Let's go back to that KMYT. I'm sorry. How do we have before KMY.T?
Yeah. Y.T. Sorry, I'm so sorry. KMY.T. Get rid of this dot and come back over here. Yeah. So sorry about that. But I really want. All right. So there you go.
Good.
All right, and let's translate these to German. To English.
This is what I put up the first time.
It was. I was just trying to see because there's a word, kemit, that describes female herd of cattle, and sometimes they don't always they don't always translate it as black. But it's not in here though.
Okay, so it's two Y's, I think. So let's go back and put two Y's there, right? So let's put two Y's, two Y's. Okay, so
Or try the other Y with the T. Maybe that'll be it. Maybe we do KMYYT.
yeah.
Kim,
Oh,
Kim,
just because they
Kemet.
leave off, just because Egyptologists leave off the yeah.
Right.
I,
Don't mean it so. I agree. Right.
nah, I don't
Don't
mean so. They're not gonna get me that. But when you go to Vigus, I think if you go to Vigus dictionary, you'll see that version, right? So so when I go to Vigus, I should see it, and then I'll get then maybe I can go back to the TLA. Did the Vigus dictionary come up?
Yep. See it.
Okay, so it's uh let's just go through the chems, right? But I really wanted to get back to that fiasco.
Yeah,
No,
I need to watch that. I need to go. After we're done. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go and look at it.
not that the Egyptologist,
It was really good. It was good. I mean, I
yeah,
think she
not it was
did enough.
just what they tried to get out of it was um
I
uh
listened to her. I listened to her. That was my main focus. I listened to her. To
yeah.
her answer to the questions, and
Oh,
that was
okay, so where is it? Sorry. I don't have my glasses. Let me put on my fake glasses.
I was watching their
The
expression.
commentary.
Yeah, I was watching their expressions when she would answer.
Right. Okay, so
So,
here we go. So we here to
but Brandon had already primed
this,
us yesterday by saying that
Yeah, that's
she
it.
will have agreed with a lot of stuff that we
yeah,
all
yeah. He
they knew.
did.
Yeah.
Brendan's my brother. And look, Unc is my brother, but we have big disagreements, right? But Brendan is with that team. So
Right.
Yep.
all of these, see, the issue is with Kim, it has always something to do with some darkness, right? Even the
Yeah.
cattle count, right? Even the completion. You're really talking about the completion of the cattle count. Maybe we agree. I haven't found a direct attestation, but I think that they're all related. So this Kimiet that you're talking about right now,
Yep.
right? No, it doesn't say black herd, but
I mean,
it
it does. It does, Reggie. Black cattle.
it does. Okay.
Same
But
thing.
what I'm saying in this, yeah. Okay, so actually they
Yeah.
did put black cattle. So
Mhm.
thank you. So we would have to find another case. But let me just go back to this conversation. Oh, unless there's something else major that we want to talk about with this. Um, I
Yeah,
am going.
let's go back to that. Yeah, because we hijacked the stage, Reggie.
Yeah.
It says
So
black herd of cattle and black cattle. So the one right below it could be well, I guess it'd be Black City or yeah, it had to be Black City or Black Town.
yeah.
Herd of the town. Herd
Because
city.
I can show you, I know it's black. Okay, so okay, can you agree with me on this, Christopher, or not? Right? Can you agree that Kemet was at one point not the name of the country,
Yes, I agree.
and it was a an area in dispute. So sometimes it was captured by the Hyksos, right? And in another point, it was how can I say, they was having problems in that country with the Rakit. Could you agree with me on that? That's
Yes. Mhm.
right. So at the time that it was Kemet, at the time that it was, so I'm stop sharing my screen here. At the time that it was Kemet the city, right? What does the black silt or soil got anything to do with that?
Reggie, I don't think it do. I'm telling you, I don't think. I really think it has more than so to do with wetness, and I don't think it has anything to do with. I mean, the black land sounds good because you see the word Kim and you got the bread loaf there at the top of them. Okay, the black land because of the silk, but I think it really has more so to do with wetness.
But when you get beyond the wetness, you got to deal with those people, and it had to be something significant about those particular people.
Well, I think Reggie's talking about just in terms of the consonant cluster, just Kim. Before we get to people, right? Just the name Kim itself, and then becoming Kemet. I mean, clearly it was a region or a city or somewhere at some point. It wasn't just always. I mean, it can be used to describe people. It can be used to describe a region.
It
Right?
had to
Because
be.
we have.
It had become a gnome, I think.
It actually never became a gnome.
I was about to say, no, I don't think it was a gnome. Yeah.
Never became, never got to that. It
Right.
became
Okay.
it unfortunately it was a city that was in out. I'll show you the text.
Must have been them country boys.
It's kind of like the word. It's kind of like the word Idebui and Tamari. Those weren't gnomes. Those are kind of like generic words for regions or areas.
Oh, I thought Tamari and Tashimau were gnomes. The two gnomes.
Tamehu.
Right, that's Tamehu.
That's Tamehu.
And Tashimau was a city too, yeah, but they're not Idebui and Tamari.
I thought those two were Tawi.
Yeah, but they weren't gnomes though.
Okay.
Tashimau was, but not Tamari.
These are regions. Okay, so in this construction, and this construction right here was okay. So here you have Ta in Kemet, right? And somewhere over here you also have Tameri somewhere over here. So you have Ta in Tameri with the two Nucleus. So this would be land of Tameri, land of the
beloved.
If we want to say, we could say beloved, or we could say farming, whole land, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so the text is basically saying something in the faction that in this Tameri, they heard something. They let me just see. Yeah, I can find a better translation, but
This is late Egyptian.
This is Ramesses period.
Yep, I was say yep. It's the late Egyptian. You can see I can tell by the verb.
Right.
Yeah.
So in this construction, and then over here this is Ta in Kemet, and this structure right here was thrown outside. It was thrown down, and then there's this word ruti, which is outside. It was thrown outside. So in this time period, Kemet was thrown outside of Tameri. Tameri is the real name of the country, right? And in here, this is a region that was kicked outside.
They were separated.
So he says, I as the king of the people, I guess of the I'm right one line down below, Reggie. One line down. Go to the left, right there, yeah.
Right.
So we have Im Nasutni Rachit. We have Win Pa Ta Chemet. Ka Im Ruit.
Blow this up a little bit. Right. Okay. Don't you love it when when our people can transliterate, right? Okay, so let's just do this again. So where are you right here? So
go to the left, right there. I'm starting right there. So we have Im Nasutni Rachit.
Okay, and okay, Rakit. So Rakit is the problem with the Rakit is, what do you translate in Rakit as?
They're like subjects or
foreign subjects in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, subjects, but they're not really the citizens, right?
Right, in general, right. And then we have Win Pa Ta Ni Kemet.
Ta, yeah, this is the Ta, right? Ta in Kemet, right? And then you have this
Ka
this verb right here,
Mhm.
ka, right?
Mhm.
M,
Ruti.
Ruti, thrown outside. So
Neb, all men thrown outside. He threw them all out.
threw them all, threw them all out. So in this particular period, even though this,
I, as the king of the people, throughout the period. Yeah, but
go ahead, no, go ahead.
you know,
Yeah.
I was just trying to translate the last line that we went over. So basically, he says, "I, acting as or as the king of the subjects, are winning off half. So the land of Kemet were thrown out. Yeah,
Don't do it. Houston, more than
somebody else talking.
Mute your mic, please. Yeah.
Struck.
So, right. So the beautiful thing about this is in the Ramses period, and Kemet is now now we're having problems with it because Kemet is now the Black City, right? It's not the land name of the whole country now, right? It's and so the problem when I talk to some people who, what do you call it, who are all the way into Kemet, is Kemet, brush your teeth, but they don't understand that Kemet, that at some point Kemet was is always this important region sacred to them, right? That's important to them, but not always part of the Tameri, which is right. And so so when you're talking about the whole country, right, then you have this emphasis on at one point, it may have been in the early period when you're talking about Kemetiu and the Unis in the pyramid text, right? I mean, sorry, yeah, in the not Unis, but in the pyramid text, when that comes out, maybe at that point, because of their cult rituals, their totemism, it may have met the Egyptians. We only have 3 or 4 versions of Kemetiu. So I'm not going to fight for Kemetiu. I'm going to say the Kemetiu was the people at that early time period, right? I am going to fight for Kemet all day as being as being Kemet with the A1 B1 and Z2 glyph. I'm going to fight for that always, right?
Fight for the black.
Huh?
Fight for the black people, Reggie.
Yeah, I'm going to fight for that always, right? And but I do know, right, that at some point this Kemet black town was problematic, and we have the eloquent peasant where he's going from the Wadi
Awash.
See, these niggas have been all the females. Just be hey.
Who is that doing that?
Yeah, somebody mic open.
Is that G Lacan?
Hey, I apologize. Sorry for that.
You rapping to your people, man.
I apologize, brother Reggie. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. We Valentine's Day is coming up. Get your house in order, bro. You know, some of you,
yes, sir.
some of you comedic dudes act like y'all don't practice no Valentine. You better go and get some flowers and something like that. Get your house in order, bro. Just now.
I was on Ank's show an hour ago, and I was upset with him. I said, "Yo, why you didn't bring Smash or Brother Reggie? You know, since you say they're not expert." Okay, I agree with that. Just say I agree with that. At least they represent our community. At least let the so-called expert, so-called correct Brother Reggie. But he read the glyph. You guys don't. And I was telling him, I'm like, it would have been fair to allow Brother Reggie to be on that panel.
He said
they dog me out.
He told me, watch this. He told me he forgot to call me. That's what he told me. He said he forgot to call me. And he's my good brother, but when he came to New York, I didn't forget to call him and come and see him. right?
He'll make all type of
No, I
excuses.
didn't
Oh,
forget. So I don't get it. He comes to New York. He's my brother. He called me. We beefing, but he in New York, right? I never, anytime that Uncle's in New York, I don't forget. I clear my schedule. Uncle Keck is in New York. So he does this show and he forgets me. And I'm like, all right. Okay, you forgot me. All right, no problem. But you did the show. And so now the show's public. And now we get to talk about it because what she did say was, you better read Metanetia. That's what she did say, right, Gila Khan?
exactly.
Okay, so you ain't got no arguments if you don't read Metanetia. Is that what you get to?
Mm-hmm.
So when they say we read Magic Metanetia, all right, let's test us, right? And what he need to do is he need to get with Christopher Withers, because Christopher Withers is his last hope, because we respect Christopher, right? We disagree, but he does know he respects us. Otherwise, he wouldn't be on this show,
Yo,
right?
he was contradicting himself because he was like, he said, I don't trust Brother Reggie and Brother Smash about reading the matter. Then I say, then he was like, then I was like, no, then he mentioned, I love when he do take him to the museum and read the Metanet. I said, well, but you trust him with the Metanet in the museum, with people that we trying to teach, but you don't trust him to ask a simple question to the expert. What kind of shit is that? What you rather him so-called lead his people to the museum is your people also, but you won't allow him to ask the expert. Because I said Brother Reggie is very respectful, even when Walter Williams was being disrespectful. Brother Reggie staying in that pocket and still respect the man. I said, at least you ain't gonna get an outburst from Brother Reggie by him asking the so-called expert, or I won't call him so-called, but the expert. But how the expert using Nubian? Why are these experts using the word Nubian? I don't know, man. But anyways, way, I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to be talking. While I
Because
thought
you know
I was
what?
on
If
mute.
you ask, Gila Khan, if you ask an expert a better question, you get a better answer, right?
Exactly. That's why I say you should have been there.
So when they want to talk about silly stuff like the pygmies and the twas, she goes, okay, I don't have to work too hard. I don't have to say ding, right? I don't have to say ding, right? Because these people are doing damage. They're doing more damage to black folks than any Egyptologist could by calling them pygmies and dwarves, right? They're doing more damage to us. So she's like, well, that's what they believe. So I ain't gonna.
Were you on the show when they asked? Because I was driving. They was asking her, can she show uh the black land in the metanatter, and she say she couldn't do so. She didn't. Or I think that's what she was saying, that she could. One of them asked,
Did it.
can you
She did it correctly. She did.
That's why, Christopher, you got to watch. You got to go back
did
and watch.
she? Oh, she did answer it.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm talking Christopher. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Now as soon as we're done, I'm gonna go look at it. Yeah.
So Christopher said she did say that, right?
No,
No.
no, that was a side conversation. Talk to Gila Khan. Gila
What
Khan,
was
talk
that?
to Patah Amun. I'm listening.
Yeah, Patel, she did go through it, and she did it correctly.
She did it correctly.
She did it. She kind of did it both ways. I put it that way.
So when they asked her, can she name the glyph, but she didn't get it. She couldn't answer the glyph name, right? Or did she answer the glyph? That's what I'm
Yeah.
asking you, Miss.
I'm saying she did. Yes, she did.
Okay, cool. All right.
Did
I
it
thought
both
I
ways.
didn't hear it.
Don on the show? Was Babylon Don? Was you on the show?
Hey, what's up, Reggie? What's up, brother Reggie? Maybe
Yeah, we cool it that. We cool it that. How you doing? Did you see that show with them?
I did not, brother. I ain't even know. I didn't know they was putting it out, but I'm excited. I'm waiting. So it's on their channel. Soon as
Yeah,
we
it's on
get
their
done here, I'll
channel.
go watch it.
Go get some popcorn. They're gonna try to throw everything at her, right? They leading her, right? and she's not budging. But we're talking about the part where she got the Kemet and she went right to the third glyph. She went, he's not gonna, oh, this is Smash Channel, so I'm not gonna put it on because they might, you know,
Smash here, back open.
I don't want to be striked, but if it was my channel, they wouldn't strike me. But the issue is she went right to the third glyph and dealt with Kemet the people. That's the first thing that she went to. And they asked her, well, she said it's the people. And then she says, and how do you pronounce it? She said Kemet, right?
Right.
And then she said black. She just didn't put black people. She just didn't do that. But she said black and she said people, right? But she didn't say black people. She said it was the temple, right? Then she did city. She did that with the newer glyph, and she said black country, right? She didn't, and then they got her to say something like black land, and she wasn't too comfortable with that. But ultimately, it worked out like that, right?
I wouldn't say she wasn't too comfortable. I said she was comfortable with that because that's the consensus. So she was comfortable with that. She said black country.
So how is it two people, right? It's like reading a Bible, right? How is it two? What's that? Chat
Community of skeptics.
Yeah, and those people on those other
pseudo killers.
Yeah, it was Chef and yeah, them. How they say they won, and she was agreeing with everything they were saying. And now on this side, I'm on you guys' side. I believe
How could they say agree? They didn't even know where the Western Desert was. They asked her they were having a whole conversation about where exactly is the Western Desert.
That's right.
Right?
I don't know.
It was bananas. Like if you're in the Western Desert, say Nafta Playa, say Give Kabir, right? Say the Cave of the Swimmers, Cave of the Beast, say Siwa. Like show you got some big boy pants on, right? But
that's right.
She killed North Africa and Mediterranean by not even mentioning it.
Exactly. Yep. She didn't mention that, you know.
They just sat there looking quiet. Listen, I would almost say if Smash, everybody, look, we need to do a big show on it. We need to review it. This was just our initial thoughts. Babylon.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Are you going to review it on what she say?
I can't show it on this channel. So Babylon didn't see it. Only my brother Patah seen it, right?
Right.
Everybody else didn't see it. So
I'm gonna see it tonight.
Oh yeah,
in the chat, they was talking about y'all gonna have to take an L on this one.
Man, okay. On that note, I wish if somebody could pull up the same old thing, the Sonoron paper, and I want to show something new that I ain't heard nobody talk about on the paper. On the part right where Sonoron is talking about Kemet and Kimu.
We done went over that so many times.
And she also say
I know Ted Move. I be here every day on every show, listen to everything we said. I wouldn't ask to bring it up if I didn't have something new to say on the issue.
Which part of it? Because I
didn't know. The part where Sonoron is saying Kemet and Kemetiu. Those little paragraphs right there.
Designate black people.
I meant Kemet and Kimu and not Kemetiu.
Okay. So let me just see.
And she also the thing is, my brother, is that we know how people feel about, hey, it don't mean this. So we don't really have to say it.
Oh, you got what you want for because Asar and Ka is coming in. So there you go. Asar Ka is coming on. He got it on.
Right. So he probably do, hopefully.
Come on, Asar Ka, because I just want to see that little part and say something about it.
Okay.
Did you also hear her say that the
Where is
a
it?
modern day Nubia they still worship the crocodile,
Yes,
and they mummified them to this day.
they got them in their houses.
Yeah, got them in there. I found that I found that
Sobek.
interesting.
Sobek.
Go back.
Okay, so this is what it says. Professor Salaran, intervening in the course of a lively exchange of views on linguistic matters between Professor Abdallah and Diop, stated that in Egyptian feminine, kemet meant black. The masculine plural was kimel, and the feminine plural kemnet. The form Kemetiyu could only mean two things, those of Kemet, the inhabitants of Kemet, the Black Country. It was a derived adjective, Nesba, formed from a geographical term that had become a proper name. It was not necessarily felt with its original meaning. Now, this is where you want to add, to designate Black people, I'm gonna say it again, to designate Black people, the Egyptians would have said Kemet or Kamu.
Now,
Not
right there, Brother Reggie, right there, I want to say one thing. Son of Ron didn't use, even though he's a grammaticist, he didn't use grammatical words right there where he used would. Right there where he used would, we should substitute the word would with the word conjugate. The Egyptians would conjugate, right? They would not have said, they would have conjugated. If people know what conjugates mean, that means that we add suffixes and prefixes and make words pronouns and verbs and adjectives and nisbas. That's conjugation. So the Egyptians would have conjugated, but go ahead, Reggie, let's finish
I have
reading.
Mr.
They would,
here.
they would,
What I don't know if we would have used if that form would have been used because congregate means it depends on the context. So what do you mean
no, I said conjugate, conjugate.
spell it?
Conjugate.
So the Egyptians would
Which is to build words from phonemes to morphemes and different things like that, to add
why can't he
suffixes
just
and
say,
prefixes to words.
but why
So
can't he just say what he just said? He
well,
just
well see, listen, because one of their side arguments, Brother Reggie, is the word would. They think that the word would means some kind of woulda, shoulda, coulda,
I
or
agree with
shall.
that. I agree with that.
It's
So,
past tense.
so to eliminate that kind of ambiguity, you have to say, what does would mean? When it reads to designate Black people, the Egyptians would have said Kemet. I mean, I can't really say it, Kemet or Kamu, not commit to you, right?
Yeah.
So now the bottom line is that Sonoran is saying that Black people, the word Black people, the Egyptians would have said or translated the word into Kemet or Kemu, the word Black people. So right there, Sonoran has already told us that the word Kemet, KMT, he translates as Black people.
Yes, he did.
Okay,
So,
now, but if we go, if we keep going, he gonna say that Kemet, KMT, means Black land. So the word KMT can mean Kemet Black people or Kemet Black land, because the T can be feminine, plural, which is T, or it could be feminine land, meaning Ta, as in Nepti or Kushta or Simtawi or any other Ta. That's a feminine T, the same loaf of bread.
But
So,
they did, but the question is, he was looking for tested ways in which they used it, and I'm surprised that he actually used Kimmel, which is a good case, right? But nonetheless, he said, you would say Black people and he said they would have said, and that's because they did say Kemet, right? More so
Yeah.
than Kamut. They did say it. So Solomon was talking like, you know how
No,
Babylon.
see, this what I mean. That's what I meant by the would part, because would have said is not real scholarly talk. Would
Right,
have
right, because he says,
to say would have conjugated Kemet or Kemu, would have added the suffix T to Kim or U to Kim to make T a plural. Like he said earlier, T is a feminine plural. So that's a collective. So
he
this is
should
important
have.
that we remember. Hold on, wait, let me say this. It's important that we remember what T stands for. T is a collective, a plural. That's the bottom line.
Or it
So
could be
it's
a
a
place
plural
name,
feminine
or it
word
could be
when it's used
Babylon
in.
Don.
I can't.
It could be a place name, right?
Yes, it can be, Brother
Right.
Reggie. I
It could be a
agree,
place
but I
name.
ain't talking about that. Just let me say this though, bro. I understand what I'm saying. That the letter T added to a word can be either or. That's logic. Either or. It could be either T feminine, plural, or T for land. Also, the U, Kimu, the U is plural, so it ties into the T plural. That's why he said
No, that's
commit.
not right. No,
That's why he said commit and
that's not.
Kamu can translate to black people because people is plural. And he using the T in commit, KMT, as a feminine plural because it's translated as black people. And when it goes to commit to you, the question would be, how come Sonoran drops like Chris was asking earlier? Chris, I'm asking, how come Sonoran would drop the meaning of T from commit, meaning black people, when it get to commit to you? He tells us some story about it becoming a noun to an adjective, a nisba, and all of that. Why doesn't he hold on to the fact that the T is a feminine plural and commit to you? See, you got KM Kim, black, then you got the T feminine plural, and then you got the IU, which
Where
is the
where are you getting
people.
it plural?
Say what now?
Where are you getting the feminine T as plural?
Okay, I got.
Right here. Look at the top, look at the first paragraph in the last
From
sentence in the
commit,
first
from
paragraph.
commit, from
Look
Chemnet,
at the first paragraph. It
from
reads
Chemnet,
in the feminine plural, Kemet,
from Chemnet.
KMNT. And we didn't address the N being feminine. That's another way to write or leave a feminine sound, just like the S is feminine Egyptian, the T is feminine Egyptian, the N is feminine Egyptian. Now there is a F that's masculine in Egyptian. There is a S that's masculine in Egyptian. We say the S that look like a door boat is masculine, and we say that the cloth, the she, is a feminine. And so you got masculine and feminine. But
Now
when
look
it came to everything like
right above.
land,
Now look right above what you're talking about, the Chemnet, and look right above it, and that says KMT feminine. It's not plural.
no, I'm gonna say it again, brother. Listen.
No, you listen. Look at it.
No, I'm gonna say it again. It
Maybe
doesn't
I can
matter.
help.
It doesn't matter about that. I'm gonna finish explaining. Okay, I got you. You're right. Okay, so the thing reads: Professor Sonoran intervening in the course of a lively exchange of views on linguistic matters between Professor Abdallah and Diop, stated that in Egyptian, which is an oxymoron, right? Because he's saying in Egyptian.
Right.
In Egyptian, Kim, KM, Kim, feminine, Kemet. So we already know that the T made Kim feminine.
Right.
Kemet meant black. Now we know that Kim means black, and we know that the T is feminine. The
Right.
masculine plural would be KMU, which is Kemu, right? That's one way to write it. That means those blacks. Now, the question gonna become the black who? Because we're not talking about land all the time. So it could be the black cattle, it could be the black people. It's not like the people in Egypt didn't conjugate the word and didn't know how to make a word say black people.
Agreed.
Okay, let's finish. And the feminine plural, KMNT. So we know that the feminine plural, we know that the word Kim is black. And we know that the word NT, the letters NT, makes this feminine and a plural. So now we got the feminine plural. Now he writes the form Kimitiyu, Kim, which is KM, black, the T, which is feminine, or feminine plural in this case, or meaning land, or meaning lady or loaf, right? Then we get the EU, which means tells us that it's not a place name. Once we get the EU, we're no longer dealing with a place name. We're dealing with a proper name. That is what Professor Sonoran is about to tell us. Watch this. So
real quick. Peace to y'all. Peace to Babylon. Thanks for joining in.
Peace.
I don't know why Chris or Reggie didn't find the moment to stop the feminine plural thing about the T.
I'm trying to, Smash.
Oh, look, I'll be falling asleep like, let me get out the bed. Somebody gonna say we should have chimed in on that. So you cooking. I'm proud of a lot of the things that you showing that you learned, but right there, the T. So just explain to us where you getting the brother Shimsu asked you, where are you getting the plurality out of this T?
I'm gonna look right above the word commit to you. It reads, and the feminine plural KMNT.
Let's do it.
No. So real, yeah, go ahead, Chris. Chris gonna do it the best, but thank you. I just wanted to address that. Go ahead.
So the feminine plural, someone transcribed this wrong. It should be KMWT, not KMNT. There is no Kim. There is no Kimnet.
Chris,
but see, go ahead.
Hold on.
I apologize. You're right. Go ahead.
No,
don't
do
before
it.
That you have the word
Kimu,
which is masculine plural.
Chris, Asar Kai is saying he found it. Hold on. Let's see what he got.
Wait, let us hear Chris. I can't even hear what the brother trying to teach me.
I'm trying to stop him real quick because he's going to explain the feminine to you, but the KMNTYW, I found it, but they tried to hide it. But
all right, real quick, let's be clear though. Just for Babylon Don, where it says the masculine plural, that is represented by the U that's on the end of Kim.
Right.
Now,
that's right.
Now, when Asar just said he found the feminine plural, notice that he said it had a W at the end or a U. I just heard you say it. Didn't you say that, Asar?
Yes. I've seen
yeah, and so I'm just gonna bow out again, but I just wanted us to address that for the listeners.
You're right, Smash. Thank you. We need to not let it run amok like that.
For clarity,
Smash Rockwell. Before you go, Smash, I do have a video showing the feminine T, and I'm gonna pull it up by tomorrow, and I share it with you.
No. Remember,
so every time I tell you I'm gonna do it, I do it.
No, you're right. Don't be confused. We're saying the T doesn't mean it's plural. Right. It could definitely be feminine, but it's going to be singular.
Right.
No, and I'm saying I got a video with them saying the T is a feminine plural.
Okay, that's cool. We'll see that video. I'm still listening.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
You, Smash. You know I wouldn't make it up. I'm gonna show you the video, and you still may say, Babylon, that nigga wrong. Don't care if you're a professor, and I won't care. I'll just be done showed you what it is. Just like Chris just said, they transcribed the N and the N should be a W. I didn't say no. Let's stick with what Sonoran said. I'm all ears. Let's go, Chris.
So check this out though, real quick. So in language, when you take off the T, so the KM, the T made it feminine. When you take off the T, you have KM. That allows it to be masculine.
Yes.
So then you add the U. That gives you your plural. So the T,
masculine plural, right?
Sin, like my brother, Sin, and Sinet. Sin is masculine. Sinet is feminine.
But it's just talking about one person.
This is not that hard. This is not that hard. I do understand that y'all simply saying that the T is feminine alone and not feminine plural. And my argument is that the T is feminine plural. And until I show that tomorrow, it should be understood that I understand that. Wait, who moved the screen? Because I was still reading that Sonoran.
It's the same way in French. It's the same way in Spanish. It's the same
Yeah,
way.
put it back up, please. Yeah, so now that we know we got the one argument about the T, let's finish killing the other team because that's we together. So now, at the second paragraph, it reads, the form commit to you could mean only two things. Now remember, this son of Ron talking. The form commit to you could mean only two things. Those of Kemet, the inhabitants of the Black Country.
Of
now,
Kemet.
Yeah, so we got commit to you. So we translating this Kim as Black, we translating the T as country, and we translating the EU as those of Kim, the inhabitants of the Black Country.
No, you would have to put
you messing that up.
That's what he did. Let me show you again. Read what he said.
I don't need to read what he said.
The form.
It's a grammar rule that I.
No, Chris. I
no,
ain't talking about the grammar rule, Chris. I'm talking about what we're reading. You trying to correct this man, and I just want to talk about what we're reading.
Left out determinatives. Even in the one when he said designate Black people, we don't see any determinatives, so we don't see the glyphs.
I don't even know what y'all argument is. I'm just reading, so I don't really understand what I'm being corrected on if I'm reading.
You can't see it.
No, I'm saying, bro, that's silly.
No,
You're
it's
not smarter than me,
No.
and you can't see anything on this paper that I can't see. So I'm gonna finish reading without arguing. I'm gonna finish reading without arguing.
You can't be disrespectful.
Please allow me to explain what I want to explain first, though.
Stopped the show last night.
I'm asking, please allow me to
explain, but you cannot be disrespectful to Chris.
Who was I disrespectful to?
You say you're not smarter than me. You can't.
No, this was Patar, and you ain't gonna do that to me.
That was Patar I was talking to, Reggie. I know who I'm talking to.
Can't do it to anybody.
No, that ain't disrespectful. He said something to me. What, you think I just said that out the side of my neck? Ask him what he said to me.
Can we take it down?
Okay, Reggie. Can I move on though? Can I please, 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 finish reading? I don't want to argue. The form commit to you could mean only two things. Those. Now, when we look at commit to you, what part of commit to you would we translate or transliterate to those, Chris?
To you. It's a
okay,
it's a
so
plural.
we agree. So we agree. Go ahead, Chris.
It's a plural. Okay. It's a plural. It's a plural. It's a pluralistic. To you.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
You can't separate the T from the Y and the W. It's Tiu. Tiu is
it's a bird.
It's a morpheme by itself. Tiu.
Okay. Now stop right there, Chris. Then this is where I say to you, if you can't separate the T from the EU, then where does commit, right? Kim et. How does that mean Black?
See the way we pronounce
it. Hold up. How does Kemet, KMT, mean Black?
Yes, I know what's going on in your head. I know what just happened. So
please don't interrupt. I'm talking to Chris. Can me and Chris just build on this?
You keep cutting him off. Quit interrupting him so he can answer you. So we can move.
No, I said, can me and Chris talk? He know I hear him, and I heard what he's saying. Stay out of it. Please just allow us to talk.
We are, but you cutting him off and you getting us unraveled.
No, I'm saying, please don't Carl. You're not helping the situation. Can I just talk to Chris?
That's the point. You pissing
Will you
off.
please stop explaining to me what I'm doing and let me talk to Chris? Chris, Chris, you said the T is connected to the EU. God damn.
Exactly. Quit over talking him and let him
sorry,
talk.
let him go. Sorry, let him go. Let him go.
So,
Something called you can't be the guard dog of the thing, man. I
Babylon.
got it. I
Come
get
on,
it.
let him
If
go.
you
You and
want Chris to talk, Chris, go ahead, Chris. You go ahead, since Osam Khan gonna make me shut up
sorry,
and make you go.
I
Don't
love
say
you,
no.
Babylon. Dog. Hold on.
Go, Chris.
all right. So, all right. So when you want to form, so Nisbe's can be formed from two things: nouns and prepositions. All right, nouns and prepositions. You have the word kemet. If you want to form it into a Nisbe, you can add the Y to keep it simple. You can add a Y to it. If you want to make it plural, you add the U to it. So that whole part, TU, is all together. It's not Kemet, then YW. That whole TYW is a glyph. It's a TU bird. And that gives you Kemet TU.
Or Chem to you.
Oh, you said
Okay,
that way.
Chris.
Or Kim TU.
Okay, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Now, I just want to walk through this real slow, back just the way you did. The W or the U makes it plural. It's a quail chick. It's the bird. Okay. The Y.
No. Hold on. Wait, slow down. There's one glyph. There's one glyph that encompasses the whole TYW. It's a species of vulture. We just call it a TU bird for short.
Can I show it?
Okay, but I don't
Reggie.
have no problem with this because I feel like
I'm gonna show it.
Yes, Reggie, please show it.
Please, I'm gonna show it. Give me a second.
Trying to teach instead of learning.
No, don't use those words.
This is ridiculous.
Nah, don't attack each other. We
Don't
good.
use those words, teach and stuff. Wait, you're in trouble. Wait, give me a second. I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay. I was on mute the whole while everybody was talking. And since I came on, I ain't been able to have a conversation. I'm going to go back on mute. When I could talk, let me know. But I really would like to get out what I was saying about the Sonoran paper and showing that. And now everybody got their screen up. Everybody all of a sudden explaining stuff.
No, this is Reggie.
I'm the host.
Show you the TU bird.
It's not that. I'm the host. What do you, Babylon Don? I'm the host. Right?
I understand that, Reggie.
I'm the host. I'm not everybody. I'm gonna show the TU. So give me a second. Right?
But I'm saying go ahead and show the TU. Okay, now Chris.
Yes, sir.
Still, while he's showing the TU, I can watch I can talk while he's doing that. The W is a plural. The Y you said was a what?
The Y helps form it into a Nisbe. A Nisbe
helps form to a Nisbe, but the Y represents what?
Conjunction.
No.
Well,
sound in the word. It's not actually a Y. It's gonna be the charcoal or the alligator foot. It's gonna be the owl, which is the M. It's gonna be the bread loaf, which is the T. And then it's going to have a determiner.
That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the word commit to you.
Here it goes right here. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a direct attestation for it. It's the chem with the other glyph, which is not the owl, the T, right? The two leaves, right? And there's the TU. So this is the word commit, TU. Or it could be chem over here, T.
Right.
Yeah, but see, we overlooking the determinative with the man standing there and the three strokes behind him that tell us it's a collective.
No, we're not.
No,
that's a plural.
These are two
verbs. I said a collective is a plural, man. Stop.
No, it's not. It's okay. It's an adjective though. Nisbes are adjectives.
Yeah, I'm saying the verb plural is a plural.
Nisbes are adjectives, right? It's not just a collective by itself. It's an adjective. It's descriptive.
I was only talking about the three strokes, Chris.
Something. No, but I'm saying though, but for the audience though, I don't want anybody to walk away saying that though.
Okay, what do the three strokes represent, Chris?
Is blacks?
Do the three strokes represent plurality?
Yes.
I
That's
thought
all
somebody
I
else.
was saying when I
I thought
said the
somebody
three
else was asking.
strokes is plurality.
No,
I
no, I
didn't
didn't
say
disagree with
nothing
that,
about a
but you said
Nisba or a TU bird or anything. I said the man standing in front of the three strokes, those three strokes represents a collective. You said that's a plural. I said, okay, a collective
right.
is a plural. You
Yeah,
said,
but
no, it's not. It's forming a
it's
Nisba. I
yes,
don't
right.
understand.
It's those. It's not just a plural in and of itself. It's those relating to or pertaining to something that it's just it's relating a physical quantity with respect to something. In this case, it's a place because it's a noun in this place. Kemet. So
Yeah, and see, that's my problem right there. When you say it's a place and you make it a place name, is nothing there to tell me that it is a place, and the T in the bread loaf don't represent land to me, and don't tell me we talking about land. And the
Can I
fact
talk?
that it's a plural would make it, just let me finish my sentence, please. And the TU, the plural, would make it plural lands, would make it more than one Kemet. So you would be saying black lands, people of
no,
the
you're
black lands
The
with an
term
S.
like the attempt.
So, so listen to what I'm saying, though. Can I just finish? So, are we pluralizing the people, or are we pluralizing lands? Because according to me, the plurality is behind the man, which says we pluralizing the people. So
right.
it's
Yes, it's
not
the peoples.
pluralizing the land. So that's one land. So that's those of the black land. Now,
Right, it's the
or
people.
we could say,
Now wait, I gotta stop. Right, I got no. See, I've been trying to talk. I have been trying to talk. Right, I asked for the same courtesy I give you. Right now, the difference is that we have phrases here. So we're not just looking at the word. So we have a phrase here. Can you translate this phrase for me? Can you read this? This is right here. So it starts with the sentence, right? So we're just not going to look with a word without looking at. So let's read this word right here. So what does this say? What does it say? What happened?
Still live.
Okay, so for the audience, this says aha ek. You stand, right? This is kente, right? This is kente, right? Kente, this is the Chiefs, right? This is how would you say this? This is kente in, right? Any. Kente any. This is commit to you, putting emphasis on the city glyph, the community. You stand before the chiefs, right? Of the Cometiyu, right? You stand before the chiefs of the Cometiyu, right? And then it says, it's like Apis, Hep, right? The god. So when we have this phrase, now you can interpret it as they interpret it, you will stand before the inhabitants of Kemet, meaning the place name, right? Like and the inhabitants is with the TU, the inhabitants of Kem, right? With the community, like Apis. You can also interpret it this way. You will stand before the foremost or the of the sacred black herd, if you right, right, like Apis, or the sacred black herd in this community. The community is the herd, right? The herd of, you stand before the sacred black herd, right? But the problem with this is that the Nuit usually designates a community of human beings, like Apis, like Hep. Now, this one, I will leave it to Chris and Asan Ka right? To interpret it, right? So this is the word. We can look at the word, but it's hard to look at a word without the phrase. So now we have actually a phrase, right? So how would we say this? Let's just do this. What would we say with this? And then there's another phrase, right?
Which one's point? Because I'm on my phone. DU.
Right. So D, and this is sec or fear,
And
right?
That means giving, yeah. And I can't barely see because I'm driving in on my phone.
Oh no, brother. Oh yeah, just drive. I'll do it for you. Just drive. Just drive. No, for real. Just drive. So this is DE. So I give or I place like your fear.
Yes.
Tenej ek ib you.
Right.
So it's like something like I place fear in the hearts of the you, something like that.
Right. Or or respect, if you want to use.
Yes, so respect, yes.
Right.
There's two types of fear. There's fear where you're scared. There's fear to hurt somebody or to, you know what I'm saying? So you when you deal with veneration, you deal with that fear. When you fear to upset someone, you fear out of love for them. I would
Like
hate to
fear
do
of
such
God.
and such to Carol. She's such a good person. Yes, fear of God, like Brother Shazman Ahmed just said. And then to elaborate just a tad bit more on what Saber was talking about with the black herd. Remember, if it's a bull and it's standing before the rest of the cows or the other bulls and it's black, it's the Apis bull, it was venerated. It was not to be slaughtered. It was not to be touched. And they would put you to death over it. So when you're standing in front of the people as the herd listening to you, as you are the Netcher, you're the king, you're the God amongst their midst, or you're the president, basically talking to the people, what do? You've captured our attention, you've captured our shine, our shimmer. We want to see what's going on with you, and you are the venerated one. So you stand amongst the people like that. You become, you become the God in their eyes. And
Now
they
there's
hang on
another
your word.
phrase. There's two other phrases. There's two other phrases. So this one, right, is what is this? Food offerings. This one right here, Chris.
Yeah, it looks like
the like foul food for offering. What is this one?
Go back over again. Yeah, Keru. Is it Ker? Hard to see. Hold on a second. Hard to see. Get my glasses. There we go.
Pull it up a little bit more. Shoot.
Jeff Fox.
Okay, I'm doing it. Okay. So what we do is, all I'm just saying to the people is that we look at the phrases, and the phrases help us a little bit more, right? Than looking at a word absence to the phrases. So I've had problems with this. I thought this was foul food, right? Giving you the offerings, like, you know, the offerings, and then it's just cur under, right? Cur under the commit to you. But
before the commit to you.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like placing offerings before?
Right. Before, right, to commit to you. Something like that. If this is
in front of, before, something like that.
Cur, usually cur is, what is cur?
Or in front of.
In front of the commit to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're placing the offerings in front of the commit to you. And the commit to you in this case is the people, right? So it's not a place, it's a group of people, a herd, a group of people, right? And then we have this one, which we give, this is the one we talked about before.
Yeah, we read that one. Yeah.
Right. So, but then we have the
Isn't Kerr a hillside, Reggie?
no, Kasut.
No, that's one way to say it, but I'm saying Kerr is a thing look just like the kiln glyph without the fire sparks almost.
He's talking about the half heel. That's que.
The pet.
Yeah,
No,
I
he's
was.
talking about the glyph. He's talking about the glyph that looks like a hill, the half
Yeah,
side of a hill.
Chris, you said it. Whatever you said, you right.
Mhm.
Hey, Chris, can I ask you something though, brother? Chris, I just wanted to point this out, man, because I know you be being straight up. When we go back to the Sonoran paper, only thing I wanted to point out is that Sonoran translated Kemet as black land and Kemet KMT as black people. Did you catch that? That's all I want to ask.
Yeah, yeah, but hold on, wait. Let's let Reggie, go ahead. I mean, no, let's let Reggie finish and then we'll
Okay.
entertain.
Okay. So
Yeah, let brother Reggie.
No, let me say something real quick, Saber, please. Remember, no Egyptologist that's still in the field is about to say it means black people just for your sake. Why? Because
Sonoran already did it.
no, Sonoran is old. And I think he.
I don't care about that. He did it. He a grammaticist. He respected. He was with
But you
Diop.
have to
I ain't going
understand
through that.
also, like I said, Theophilo Bengham had to beg him to do it. No Egyptologist
Why
in
would
the
you shoot
field
us in our
is.
own foot? The man said
But
it
let
means
me
black
finish,
land and
and then
black
you can
people.
say that he did, but they had to beg him to do it. So
I ain't
understand the
concerned with
process
that.
with
Why
who
are
to
we
do it.
arguing about what? So what? I don't
You
care if
arguing
they
because
think.
you're trying to talk over me and you don't know what you're
I'm
talking
trying
about.
to
And I'm telling you
listen.
what it
It's
is. So I'm
12:59.
telling you for a reason right now. So listen to what I'm saying.
I'm
You're
gonna
not.
end the show. So if
No.
Smash,
Hold up. Let me make
Really?
yeah, it's
this
1
point.
o'clock. I've been on. You got on late. I've been on for a while. But I'll take the last comments. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I ain't talking to you, Reggie. I was talking to Osam Khan, brother.
okay.
Saber, let me just say this real quick so I can get this out. This is
Ah.
important. No Egyptologist in the field is going to say outright that it means black people, because two things. The lady who did the one of my favorite Egyptologists, she has red hair. She did the Nefertiti documentary. When she said that they banned her from Egypt, Zahi Hawass is still in charge of the Egyptian collective over there when it comes to the museum and stuff. So if you want to get banned from archaeology, kicked out of your academia positions of high place and rank, say that, because that's exactly what he will do to you if you are in the field. So understand at the moment they can't say that outright, right? Sonoran back in the day, remember Theophilo Bang and Sheikh Anthony Job had to beg him to
I
say
would
it,
say
or they was
urge.
gonna leave.
I wouldn't say beg. I would say they had to urge him to make this
Yeah,
correct.
they was like, we'll roll out. They ain't beg. You right. They was like, we'll roll out if you ain't gonna keep it a buck. And he was like, no, you're right. It does mean Kemet, it means black people. So, and then after he said that in his own book, he relates them to the Bantu, as I showed on my show the other day. So don't expect Miss Wong, I think is who you guys are talking about. I think I heard somebody type or seen y'all type it about 3 times. If it's Miss Wong, do not risk for anybody your job for the sake of them trying to be right. We understand the pressure you under, and I gotta go watch the video because I'm not exactly sure the full skinny.
Yeah. So Osam Khan, right here in the first paragraph, I mean the second paragraph, the forum committee could mean only 2 things: those of KMT, Kemet, the inhabitants of KMT, translated the black country. So right there, Sonoran tells us that Kemet is translated as the black country. He goes on, he says, it was a derived adjective, which really don't matter that he's saying this. This is just a little history he's giving us. It was a derived adjective, nisba, right? Formed from a geographical term, meaning a toponym, which had become a proper name, like aspirin. It was not necessarily felt. When he say the word felt, he mean like when you look in a dictionary and you look up the sense of a word, the sense of it. It wasn't felt. The words have a sense. So this, the word Kemet, I'm just gonna finish. The word
No,
Kemet.
I'm gonna let you build. I'm gonna let you build. But kind of like, there's a city called Byblos, right? And then Bible, the Bible became that same Bible became.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
So
man.
Hey,
it was a
Reggie,
You
did you
place.
say
sound
you was about to
real
shut? Reggie,
reasonable.
real quick. Reg, you said you was
I
about to
have to
shut it
go,
down?
Smash.
All right, I
Huh?
appreciate you. Thanks for holding it down. Put your
Peace,
Cash
man.
App up in the chat for the people while we get up out of here with our closing words. Appreciate you, Reggie. Anybody want to get their closing words in? But Babylon, you've been speaking a lot, so let's get to you towards the end if you don't mind. Ajila Khan, I ain't heard nothing from you. Or if not, how about
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Peace to you. I just
All
was
right, all
listening
right.
in the room, but I ain't heard much from you. You want to get in your closing words on anything you heard today?
Yes, yeah. Great show. And I was telling Brother Reggie, I wish Aunt would have had you and bro or one of your two when that Egyptologist. I mean yeah, she was Egyptologist, right?
Oh, they ain't gonna have me. That ain't the climate right now. But I think it would have been cool to have Brother Reggie
Yeah.
on there.
Brother Reggie.
Yeah.
So I was Brother Reggie says he's going to break it down not on this show but on another show, I believe.
No, I think I'm not going to do it. What I tried to get from the people, because I don't want people to say that I'm biased. So we'll have another show, but everybody, please go watch it. So I definitely need everybody. Jila Khan, if you Babylon Don, Brother Christopher, definitely please go and watch it. Hassan Carr, did you see it? You saw it, right?
I didn't see it yet. That's why I was asking the chat, like, what y'all
Everybody
talking
goes
about?
watch it. They try to act like they were asking honest questions, but she unraveled their questions,
He
right?
broke them down.
Yeah.
What was like the some of the highlights? Give me the highlights.
They had her address Kemet, and they put up the people glyph, they put the Nuit, and they put the hair, and she went right to the people glyph, and she says it means black, and then she was chit-chatting, then she said she went to the people, right? She didn't say but she didn't say
So she did
direct,
what I just said. She came through.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Then she went to the city glyph, and she said that it was a city glyph, so they didn't get what they want out of it. Then she went to a whole thing about Nubia and Egypt, right? And she also did the origins of the Egyptian people coming from the Western Desert. Then they was like, "Where's the Western Desert?" They didn't even know what the Western Desert was, so they went there. Then they said they wanted to discuss the pygmies, but they didn't use the proper word ding, right? So
Don't give it to them. Don't give it all to them. Leave some for them to watch. Leave some for them to watch.
the highlights. So yes, they didn't get what they wanted out of it. The only thing is because she didn't say black people directly, then their fans are saying we're wrong, but everybody agreed that Smash Rockwell, Brother Reggie, and what we've been teaching, we've been 95% correct, and Cedric calling us scammers, right?
And
But I would say
to
that they
add on
good,
this is my
intelligent
closing,
question.
but this is my closing. To add on to Brother Reggie, I'm gonna get out. They call her say we cognitive dissonance, but it seems like they are what they claim we are. You know what I'm saying? So I'll leave it. Yeah. So like Brother Reggie say, you know what I'm saying? They that's probably why they didn't want you on that show, Brother Reggie. You know what I'm saying? So they just want to confuse the people and make them believe that she agreed with what they were saying. But on that note, I really appreciate the show. I'm gone. Peace out.
Word up. Thanks for those remarks. What's up with Shamsu? Babylon, you can go ahead.
Okay, this is my closing words. Hey, great show, Smash, as usual, every time. Hey, peace, Brother Reggie. Peace, Brother Chris. Hey, Chris, man, you got to come back, man, so we could talk, man, to Bill, man, so you could teach me when other people ain't on the show, man. I'm trying to learn something, especially like cryptography shit.
Yeah,
But
we have to stay
the
on
one
topic,
thing
man.
I
That's
do,
all. We have to stay on topic.
the one thing I do want to say though, Smash, is that Smash. I don't know if you remember this, but when I first started coming on your show, one of the first thing I asked that we read was the symposium. Was the people
No,
of
I don't
Egypt,
remember that.
Africa?
The first thing you did was cuss me out. Remember?
No, stop. He
Yeah, that was
always start
the
that shit,
first
man.
time I let you ever
Bro.
on. You cussed me out. I remember that.
Look at Chris talking about, yeah. Nah, Smack. Okay, the second time then.
Yeah. See, you
I'm
remember?
saying when we got cool, I did. I brought it, but nevertheless, I'm just saying though, I had read this whole thing like years ago. So I'm telling you, man.
No, I believe you. We all visited
Yeah.
this years ago. So what about it?
Nothing. That's all I wanted to say because they keep on acting like I'm some newcomer, like, oh, some talking about something. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, man, I done read this
Oh,
thing
man,
10
I'm talking
times.
about for
If
that
you ask me,
particular thing, not in full. Now we just jumped a gentleman in London the other day. I ain't disrespecting you. I'm saying concerning that particular subject, you got to chill so he can explain it to you. Then when he did, you was like, "See, that's what I want to see." That's just had to let him talk. That's all.
One last thing I will add to that TU Bird conversation is J.E. Hotch who put forth that in order for the TU Bird to be on there, it has to be received on a word with the T. So that would eliminate it being Kim. You're not going to see nothing like Kim TU. Notice how Nahesi doesn't end with a T, so we don't get a Nahesi TU. And furthermore, Nahesi ain't really a place; is a direction. But there's a lot of things that don't end with a T that won't receive a TU bird because the end of that noun or what have you does not end in a T. And so that's Hotch, J.E. Hotch, Middle Egyptian grammar that teaches that. But all right, you were still doing your closing, Babylon.
oh, no, I'm done. But I appreciate that, Smash. I was done. I just wanted to make Osama card get straight, though. But that's it.
All right, well, you wanna go, Asar or whatever, Shimsu, Asar, whatever.
Yeah. So I gotta go. Y'all saying twice stuff, so I gotta go watch the video. Smash. I had it up the other day. Or shit. Well, Satan Reggie is looking for it. I had it up. It says the black land and the red land, and it uses the Nawit symbol after both.
Mm-hmm.
When you go into the Met, can you remember where that's at in the TLA?
I was that the TLA we was looking at?
I remember I had it in the new TLA and it put both up, but I couldn't. It's so difficult to use that new.
Well, I'm trying to. I don't remember, bro, and I don't. I can't remember what that system. But I remember that moment when we was looking at it. We should have clipped it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a TLA. It was a text that you were showing.
Yeah, it wasn't a TLA. I don't remember it looking like the TLA because we wouldn't have got all excited. We wouldn't have got all excited. Oh, you know what text it was? It was the text of that Budge text or somebody text. Oh, I think it was when we was looking at the Book of the Gates. It wasn't.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Was that it?
It might.
It was all black with white letters, and yeah. So it wasn't the TLA. It was text.
Because I think that was the same text that we was questioning why somebody had used the 3 move strokes with another N under it. Was that the same text? Remember? We was like,
but
why?
it was in that same book.
And we was looking at the J Mill photos that day.
I remember the three ends, and you said it moved.
Yeah. I mean, I think it might have been that day, so you might want to look at that, but I wouldn't know specifically. But I am ready to get out. So you want to say your closing? We can hear from Shimsu, Reggie, and Chris. In no particular order, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'll just say.
Asar. I thought Asar was saying what he was saying.
No, I'm done.
Okay,
yeah, don't expect no Egyptologist to come out and say that directly. Remember, they was banning folks for it. They don't want to ruin their academic career.
Oh, guess what else?
was head to it.
Asar, they
Huh?
asked for a source on the black soil.
What you say?
They asked for a source on the black soil. And guess what she said? You know what? I can't think of one. I'm gonna have to get back to y'all on that.
Exactly.
Now somebody said she gonna get back to him. And I had to point out something else that ain't been pointed out. That broadcast was not live. Who do that? So who gonna secretly do their thing, and then they say it wasn't edited, but it was sounded dumb edited to me. So when y'all go listen to it, it's so badly edited that some of her statements don't be making sense, bruh. But this is just me and my suspicions. I could be totally biased because I'm biased right now. I know I'm biased because I'm biased. So I'm saying, you feel me? But it sounds like I was trying to make a coherent sentence out of some of the stuff, and I was like, was that an edit? Because it was one point where Aunt came back in talking about something that I did not hear her mention. But anyway, when you listen to it, see if you hear some. Well, we know it's pre-recorded, so that's already off the hook.
Right. Yeah.
Like why y'all trying to go do it in the locker room and then and put the makeup on it and then put it out? You know what I'm saying?
What they gonna say? Well, we had to make it aesthetically pleasing for the people, and
when we start doing that though.
That's what he said he was gonna do too. I heard it on the show.
Did he?
But I ain't mad. People could. I ain't mad. I ain't the governor. I'm just.
Yeah, they said they was gonna edit it, Smash. They said they're gonna edit it and make it presentable for the public.
Well,
just
it sounded like it was presentable for the public, and they still got manacles. But y'all enjoy, and I'm glad you see I'm promoting that channel. Shemsu, you got some.
Yeah. I would just say, the reason why I gravitated to this channel is because I know the work that Smash puts in when it comes to the glyphs, and it's an intelligent channel, and I love the music. I'm a fan of the music, but I definitely want to learn more. I'm gonna stick, I'm gonna stay over here and support. And other than that, I would just say about them, I do think the questions that they asked were intelligent questions. They might have been a little bit soft, and they could have went a little deeper with it. But I respect the show, the Egyptologist. I think she was excellent. And then that's all I really got to say on the show and all that. But 95%, 99%, everything is still going strong over here. So that's what it is.
Chessmo, you better not be over here fence riding. You know I'm gonna point that out. I ain't on to smash them. I'm gonna tell you.
I don't know what you mean by fence riding. I'm gonna keep it real.
What I mean by trying to play both sides, a double agent.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
It don't sound like you keep it a buck. That lady, Miss Wong, was trash. According to what I heard.
Well, she wasn't trash, dog, but he's entitled to his opinion.
Smash.
He is entitled to his opinion.
Wow.
Let's hear from Chris real quick.
Yeah, it was good, brother. So it's just I just feel bad because we kind of strayed off the topic. I mean, it was fun to look at the text, always. That's my love, but I think we just need to stay focused. So I'm glad Smash came in, and I'll do better next time too when Smash go out and trying to keep us on track.
Appreciate that. What about Brother Reggie?
Wow. She'd be looking for the black soil, but we could tell her there's no Kemet with the black soil with the minerals, right? There's no determinant. We could tell right now that there is no Kemet with the black soil. There's no black soil god. We know that water, right? Happy is the main mover of the inundation, right? And say Happy don't be talking about no black soil. And we know from my other show that I did, which I will do better on Thursday. Well, we know that the ancient Egyptians, as they're called, have sacred soils.
But Reggie, no, not that. Let me ask you, not to cut you off. I want to speed it up. Do Kemet have a monopoly on the black soil?
Of course not.
Oh, where else they got the black soil?
Oh, and the black soil starts in Ethiopia. So there's something called the Black Nile. People don't know that, right?
Reggie, don't do it to him, Reggie.
there's the Black Nile, right?
Black
Then
Sea.
and then it goes into Sudan. Sudan. So Kemet got more black sand than Sudan. It starts in Ethiopia, so Ethiopia, where it starts, must have the most black sand, and then Sudan they get it before Kemet, so they have the black sand, and they get it before Nubia. So Kemet is only getting a residue of the black sand. So other places, all those other
Y'all
right?
crazy.
All those other places should be Kemet, right? Because there is no monopoly on the black silk, but there is no black silk god. Where the black silk god? Forget the black soil. Where is the black soil deified? Right? Peace, Barn Dog. Where is the black soil? So stay tuned. See me on Thursday, where I address the monopolies. So what I'm saying, Chris and everybody else, and look, we would want to see a monopoly on the black soil. Kemet don't get, what's special about Kemet that their soil is better than the rest of the soil of Africa on the Nile? I guess they ain't never think about that, right? And God, where's the God of the black soil? I want to see the mud god. Where the mud god? The god of mud, Smash. So they ain't got no mud god, but they got the river god, the Ichiru god. His name is Happy.
As Reggie drops the mic.
Reggie killing them. Hey, what's up? Those, you got 2 shows coming up?
Yeah, I got one show. I got Thursday, and the other one will be later on Sonetta's channel. But Smash, thanks for the donation. That's the only donation that I got. I actually have to take that extra money and send it to Morpheus, because Morpheus is on his. I heard Morpheus is on his way to New York because his son is not doing well. So keep Morpheus in your thoughts, because his
Morpheus.
Yeah, his son, that's why he's not been on for the last week, because his son has been really, really sick in the hospital, and he's got to jump on a bus right now. That's what I heard. I had my phone off because of the show, but
so y'all gotta represent better than that. Don't let my Cash App be the only one Reggie got tonight. Put your Cash App up one more time for representing you, because you do a lot of good work, and if anybody can, they will.
Well, if you don't want to donate, well, fine. Buy Smash's book, Black Like Osiris. Get your autographed copy. This is my brother. Like, listen, people don't know. I had left this stuff alone, the Metanetra. I wasn't really teaching, but when I found out that I had to perform on Kemet on Trial, I went and bought the best, fastest, brightest Metanetra vocal Metanetra scholar. That was Smash Rockwell. I wish Christopher Withers would have been with us on Kemet on Trial, but y'all know that story. And so I'm forever thankful for this channel, and I'm always thankful because I get to sharpen my skill, and I meet people like Hassan Ka, and Chris Withers, and everybody else that contributes to the Medunetra, because that woman killed them when they were saying we do magic Medunetra and all that stuff that they say. She says, no, you got to read the Medunetra. You can't rely on the translation. She murdered them. And all of them are illiterate with the Metanetra, because they call it the magic Metanetra. They want to read what the scholars say, but they don't want to read what the ancient people that we call Egyptians, right, say. She murdered them. So everybody watch that show so we could do a proper, we can pull out sound bites, and we can just get our popcorn, right, and laugh. Huh?
Somebody said they just hit you off with a Cash App. Vernon, shout out to Venom for representing for the Smash Rock channel. Sent you a Cash App. And you're gonna get a few more from the followers who watch it, who ain't got to this part of the video yet.
Watch my show on Thursday where I showed they ain't got a monopoly, and we can't find a deity that's rocking with the black soil. We can't find. So how can you not find a deity rocking with the black soil? You need that in Kemet, right? Right? Otherwise, it ain't Kemet. But you can read the old Egyptologist all you want, but you need the black mud god. Where the black mud god? Smash? I want the black mud god.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for me. Thanks.
That was a good show. I appreciate y'all. We'll
Thank you.
close this down. We'll be back tomorrow, the next day. Peace, peace, peace.
Peace.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, dang. I think Reds was saying something. But yeah, I think we're missing that. Let me see. What was we looking at right here? These are some Kemets, the black cows. All right. This was a cool show. I'm about to go get my rest. Hit look at Reggie Cash App. Everybody kick in, put that $1, put the $5, the $10. Some of y'all know you can put the 20, the 25. Let's take care of our elders, you know what I'm saying? Our elders, our elder teachers who be winning the war. They stay strong for a long time, trying to teach y'all this. Now y'all get an Egyptologist and she say, hey,